What is going on, you guys? Uh, I didn't think. I I literally rushed over here from work as soon as my coworker, my replacement, my replacement came out, and hold on one second. My replacement for work came out and or called me 10 minutes before the end of my shift and said, "Hey, I'm not going to be there. I can't get over there in time." But if you can stay there for a little bit, um someone else who's supposed to be working tonight's shift will be there as soon as possible. Okay? And so I was like, "Okay." They don't get there till their scheduled shift at 11. 5 minutes before 11. So, like, on the grand scheme of things right now, people want me to start ranting and raving. This is it. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Alpha and Air podcast for this wonderful, somewhat wonderful Thursday, April 25th, 2024. On the day that we're the draft is happening. Of course, that is happening right now. By the way, congratulations to Chicago. They absolutely didn't sell out to get like draft capita. They actually got someone who actually can do something. Will they do something? I have no idea. But one storyline that's been driving along for the last couple nights, and I have to pull up the the context of it here, which I might have to do. Oh, I mean, I can do it on here. It's fine. Just gotta make sure. Oh, okay. Just mute it. So for those who just for those who've seen, here, we're gonna take a picture here. This is exactly what happened. Share your stream. Okay, I'm sharing my stream. You Dan, you fucking racist. So this is what happened right here. This is from AEW the other night. To give context to what the picture I'm showing you, this is why I have to show you. So Jack Perry, who is a part of the All Out Brawl, the Brawl Out All Out, the All Out Brawl, or whatever you want to call it, with CM Punk, because he wanted to use real glass. Shared your stream. Oh, shared your. Sorry, Dan. I'm a little. I'm a little shoot first, ask questions later right now. I'm a little steamed off, but you know, I'm trying to get people. I'm trying to at least do a stream tonight. I said I was gonna do a stream tonight. It wasn't gonna be the topic I wanted to do it because I wanted to actually watch those videos and make sure I had notes. These I already know because, like, you know, dumb wrestling fan and everything, and it's also a reaction. So, this is, let me, so, Jack Perry hasn't been in AEW for a while. He reappeared on New Japan, which is a partnership company promotion that is working with AEW. And he came back this past Sunday on on AEW pay per view, costing FTR. Through a costing them the World Tag Team titles to the Young Bucks, who are CEOs of the company, and they brought him in. They brought Jack Perry back in, and this is basically the long story short of it is this here, right there. You see, he's see that little that's the shit. Hold on, I'll go back here. That's a shit eating grin. Like someone's about to get fucking annihilated and everything. So we go right into this classic heel movement, and then just watch this. Just boom! And he sells it like a dead man. Now, a couple minutes later, the EVPs come in, and this is what happens. See, they pick him up right here. They pick him up, and they're about to do the... Now, before it happens, I have to correct people on this. A lot of people said this was an Indie Taker, or this wasn't the Indie Taker. This was the Meltzer driver. Or some people said it was the Indie Taker. It's not the Indie Taker. It's the Meltzer driver. But in the grand scheme of things, they call it the TK driver because now they're corporate heels, and this is what happened right here. And wait for it, and yep, Meltzer driver. So they do this bit like they're trying to get rid of him, Now, I like this. Where is this right here? And right there. Oh, I missed it by like a fraction of a second. Oh. Right there. That is Tony Khan's father, who owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, for those who don't know, he owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, and his son, both him and his son, own a football team, or English football team, out in England. I forget what they're called. Fulham FC. They own Fulham FC. He has a hand in another thing. I can't remember what exactly that is. But he's sitting there, and I give him credit where credit's due. He's selling it like, what the fuck just happened? So the draft was tonight. It's still going. I think they're almost done with it. I think they're about almost done. And then I see everyone's like, if he does not sell the neck injury on the draft, then he can't do this. He can't be a character on TV. 24 hours later, boom, right here. Even BR Wrestling, Tony Khan's wearing a neck brace in the Jacksonville. And I love it. And there's his father right there, just shit eating it, just like, you motherfuckers thought he wasn't gonna sell. That's the greatest thing. That's the greatest thing I think I've ever seen. Right? I think that's the great. I think it's like definitely top 5. one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen. Health-wise. Anyway, and I'm gonna shout them out here real quick, because if I don't, I feel like it's all to naught. So there is a video. I am gonna announce this now, rather than say who it is and what it is. I did a recording with a former tipster mod, or a former tipster associate, and it's not a lot of the usual suspects that you think it is. It's just probably like one or two people. It's just one person that I know has known tipster, at least in their circles and everything like that, and we had a good interview this past weekend, so I will let you guys know when that comes out. But this was all, and this is and that inspired me because of this video that we're about to watch. And shout out to Toastify on YouTube. I'll go ahead and drop a link to her channel here. We're gonna go to tab and Toastify, copy. Oh god, a tipster mod. Okay. There you go. Shout out to Toastify. They're really cool people. I greatly appreciate it. But when this video came out, I was like, okay, you know what? I have to talk about this. I have to talk about this, at least in some aspect of it. And it's only a part 1. And then I'll also, there was also another video that I could react to real quickly towards the end of this, because I want to get to if you can make toast out of bread, does that mean Toastify is a bread tuber by technicality? Well, I don't know about that. Maybe their mascot, probably, I guess. I mean, I don't know. But this is a video called Tales of Tipster. A commentary is the biggest locale, and it's only part 1. And it's doing really good right now. 84K views just 5 days ago. So this all happened within, like, all these different events happened within the last couple weeks, and it's been an interesting thing watching tipster squirm a little bit, because, you know, now there's people who have been on his side are finally distancing themselves from him. And let me just say, like, you know, it's for good reason. If we could, and I'm gonna be pretty broad about this for a minute, all right? I'm gonna be pretty broad about this. I'm gonna paint him in a broad paint stroke here, because I'm about to say this. If you take out the internet personality, quote unquote, the internet personality of Tipster, I don't think he would be such a bad dude. It's just the problem is, every time he's too gullible for his own good, to the point where he fucks himself up. And he really leaned on a lot of the what's the word I'm looking for here? He leaned on the good morality points that he always had over the years with people in commentary, and who made very successful, where Tipster made great points and actually challenging content creators to actually be better, stop, get some help, that type of shit. But then all of a sudden, like, as soon as the truth comes out, like, hey, he's hanging out with Keffals and everything like that. And this is my whole thing about the whole this is kind of how in commentary we sometimes out of pocket or in pocket in some regards, especially with people like Tipster, hang on guilt by association. And I hate that he's using that currently for Nicholas Diorio, Tommy C, Matt Pitt, now recording, even Stardust. I heard some shit about Stardust. I don't know how long ago it was, but it was a long time ago. But I will say this. If you take out the whole perspective of Tipster being on the internet, if he was just a normal dude, he didn't have the creative genius that he had over the years to make this YouTube channel or anything like that, I think he would just be treated just like another one of the Spurgs. Tipster had the whole damn world in his hands. He threw it away. A perpetual victim whose online persona is being a target of transphobes. And here's the thing. Like, in this interview, there's a lot of things that I never realized till the person that I interviewed really had had more, because they had more interactions with him than I did. They had more interactions than I did. And so that's one of the things where now I have to kind of play my hand off here, and sit there and go like, this isn't Menudo, buddy. This ain't Gucci Mane. This ain't nothing. This is a fail, like, everyone saw the bullshit that you were trying to pass on as true. And, I feel bad about stuff like this, but, where I'm seeing more evidence of people, like, sharing their DMs and talking about their times with Tipster and everything, it just kind of proves to show that, like, he's a nice dude until he feels that you betrayed him in certain ways. Like, and I'll say this: he still followed me for the longest time after the whole the first Lollygate that happened, right? And a lot of people didn't knew that I was still followed by him, and I sat there. I was like, look, I'm not going to judge a book by its cover at this point, because I think, yes, what he's doing is cringe, but he's doing it to protect someone who obviously made a mistake, and it was an accident. It shouldn't happen ever again. Like, that's a whole point blank period just saying right there. And now he's sitting there go like, well, I started to blame all these other people. He's basically blaming others for his own actions and all that. Like, someone, I think it was Nicholas Diorio, was talking about how when he was someone mentioned Suzy Liu in the VC, and he's or not in the VC, in the chat during one of his live streams, and he sat there and he kind of pondered for a bit. He's like, guys, something, I actually do feel bad. I do feel like I went a little too far on Susie Liu. Like, no, you actually put her in her place, because technically speaking, and I'm just saying this now, because if Susie Liu wasn't put in her place, like the bitch she is, I doubt there wouldn't be such actual refined rules about content making that content creators, commentary creators, a lot of YouTubers actually follow without even saying that these are the official rules and everything like that. It's flabbergasting that he said, "Oh, I went a little too far." No, it's a blessing in disguise, honestly. But if he wants to, cry into his soap operas and cry and eat ice cream off his fat on his belly, then by all means, right? So anyway, we're gonna watch this video because I'm a little pumped. I'm a little hangry here, so to speak. So let's just get into this here. Let me make sure it's at quartering speed here, and we're gonna go.
You fell for a fake tipster account. This is what I'm talking about. This is how stupid you are. You fell for a fake tipster account. You're a joke, and nobody believes anything that comes out of your mouth because you literally fell for a fake tipster account. You loser. Suck my and get the out of here.
Didn't he fall for a fake blowback? I think someone told me this a long time ago. Did he actually fall for a Blowblacks account like a long time ago? Like when or no, it was a fake Augie. I think it was I think it was like a fake Augie account. And because like I'll admit I fell for the fake what was it? I think it was like a fake Nicholas DeGorio. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I might be wrong about that. I don't know. I know someone said that he fell for a fake account. So someone messaged Matt Pitt because I think he knows who it was, or just someone at Matt Pitt, because I know he's watching somewhere because he's bored and everything like that.
Over many years, the online commentary community has seen.
Hey, look, there's me. There's Lamp. There's Badwick. Even though I'm gonna say this right now. Badwick is still a menace to society simply because he puts ketchup on his steak. Do we really want a person that puts ketchup on their steak in control of this? I don't.
Many people come and go from its space. Countless individuals have risen to the top of the hierarchy, only to either move on to bigger and better projects, or just to completely flounder and flop, becoming.
Oh, he flopped all right. He flopped like a fish out of water. And you know, the sad thing about the flamenco, right, is the only common the thing I could say about him and Tipster, they have two things in common now. They literally been ignored by commentary in terms of takes. Because let me put it this way, Tipster's takes in the last year and a half absolutely gone to the shit well. It is the drizzling shits. That's how bad it is. Like, they may have points, they may have something that you could agree on, but the overall anarchy point is they both suck at pulling out their points. Like, I will give Flamenco something. Yeah, I will give Flamenco something. When him and Assistant Sailor was debating in chat in the DMs, which is the funniest thing in the world. I'm so sorry, Assistant Sailor, but I have to rail you about this. The fact that we had Assistant Sailor had to type his debate out rather than get Flamenco on a voice call to debate this, and Flamenco finessed his way out of it, basically. He basically got Assistant Sailor on a gotcha. And you know what? There's gonna be times where you're gonna get hit with a gotcha moment, and it's gonna fuck with you for a little bit. But you know what? At least Assistant Sailor is in the commentary community, and actually being liked for something rather than like, say, like for example, Flamenco liking Shotokan. Which, by the way, if anyone in this community, if I ever find out, like Shotokan or Lolicon or whatever depicts a younger person in a sexual manner, I hope you get the Alec Baldwin special, just in Minecraft, in Roblox, whatever you gotta say here nowadays. Because that's just no.
Competent losers who end up being the very people they criticize. And the latest captured in that cycle of incompetence is Tipster, once one of YouTube drama's most consistent news sources, who built a channel of 100,000 subscribers. But nowadays you'll see a man who's far from that in his reputation, and that's pretty much all self-inflicted. From his weird connections with his online goth mummies to completely turning on his friends and having some of the worst.
Hold on, I just want to point this out. So, does anyone remember when Def Noodles had the clear lenses for the clear lens frame for his glasses? Let me see if I could pull. Let me see if I could pull one of Def Noodle's old pictures. Def Noodle's images. Let's see here. I mean, they're not necessarily clear. They're not absolutely clear, but I noticed as soon as he stopped wearing the clear glass, they were white glasses. That's what they were. As soon as Dennis started to actually be a real person and not a whole gimmick and a half with the cat ears and the white glasses in the Minecraft house, his commentary drastically changed and actually was really good. Whereas like someone like Tipster, you know, just suddenly wears the glasses and he sees everything in what's the thing, don't look at everything with the rose colored glasses. Instead of it being rose colored, it's like a shade of huey blue, like just standing right in front of him, just looking at everything and sit there go like, you know what, I think all these people that are in the commentary community are absolutely degenerates. I'm like, I mean, we are. I mean, that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer.
Take to a fraction of the audience he used to have, Tipster has had a pretty well-documented and hilarious fall. However, as someone who's been aware of him for quite a while, many have this misconception that Tipster is just a case of a Discord mod's sudden spiral into delusion. What most don't realize is that Tipster's downfall is just more evidence of his repeating patterns and habits, and it will happen again and again. So let's have a look at his entire career. This is Tipster, commentary's biggest lolcow. Tipster's history stretches far back beyond the story told by so many. In fact, he's been around online since 2006. But unsurprisingly, there's not much that's really been archived from back then. The only thing that I can really find is this video where he talks about cleaning his hard drive.
I've noticed when Tommy C covered this video, no one didn't point out the fact that when he was talking about cleaning out his hard drive, right? He's standing there with no shirt on. Can Because I don't see no shirt. I don't see no like official neckline around him. He's been he's a Bert Kreischer before Bert Kreischer became Bert Kreischer, if that makes sense.
But I have literally given myself full control of the entire C drive. My account has taken ownership of the entire C drive. I literally have full control of every folder and file on this machine.
Is it Bosch? Do you have absolute control of the Bosch files? Is it the Bosch files? I don't know. I mean, it could be the Bosch files. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe he. What is wrong with this double lord? Had his holidays. What is wrong with this double lord? I don't know. Maybe he gave his hard drive to Bosch. Who knows? Here, Bosch. Here's a brand new hard drive.
Before becoming a big boy drama channel, Tipster spent most of his time talking about video games and retro consoles, inspired by the likes of the Angry Video Game Nerd. And later down the line in his retro gaming era, he would actually sign to Screenwave, a multi-channel network that currently owns the AVGN series. From 2016 onwards, Tipster would be regularly covering gaming news and streaming himself playing games as his main bread and butter, and that would be the status quo for the next.
Okay, so I when he first was starting to get cold feet with the commentary community, right? I told him, if you don't feel like you want to make commentary videos anymore, then why don't you do what you did back in the day, which was unboxing video games and going into long form content here. He thought about it, right? And he sat there going like, yeah, maybe I should. Because I asked him, like, do you have any new stuff that you've collected since then, since you started doing commentary, that you might want people to see? Because this is something that you never, people may never have played before or seen before. Especially, and I'm going to say this, I think, as someone who has been around Tipster with these types of old school conversations about consoles and everything, he will absolutely blow you out of the water. He's very knowledgeable about a lot of stuff that I grew up playing, like the Sega Saturn, the Sega Genesis 2, Nintendo, all the Nintendos up to, I think, the GameCube, I think. Like, he stopped at PlayStation 2. I think he had an Xbox 360 before he got his PC and everything like that, which is cool. I think that's cool, but I told him, why don't you just start going back to doing like retro tech? And I think this may have something to do with his whole beef with something JT. I can't remember his name. Shadow JT, something like that. I think that's the name I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to remember what his name is. Something JT. It's someone's gonna have to remind me. Smash JT. I think that's what it was. Yes, that's what it was. Smash JT. That's the guy. And to be fair, hindsight's 2020 here. Smash JT, honestly, this is maybe the nuclear take of the year. He was probably telling people the way it is about Tipster in that famous hot tub stream, and he was acting like a fucking evil villain. Maybe he was the evil villain in his eyes. maybe he was the evil villain to Tipster's evil villain. Maybe his Dr. Claw in this scenario of things, but we don't know.
3 years. However, he would also dip his toes into YouTube drama. In fact, he was one of the many small streamers rated by Zoe Burger, well known in the YouTube drama sphere for showing herself off on stream for donations.
Holy cow, Zoe, thank you so much for the raid. I sincerely appreciate it. You have no idea. That is awesome. Thank you so much.
Everyone, please,
Everybody,
please, please,
shout out
please,
to
please,
Zoe
go leave a
Berger.
like.
She was very generous to raid us.
Wait, why is he already subbed to her? As the years rolled by, Tipster
I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice that Zoe Burger was he subbed to Zoe Burger. Oh my god.
more involved with commentary due to his overlap with the gaming community. In early to mid-2018, he would do interviews with 2 commentary channels that are going to be fairly relevant for this entire story. One of them was Red Fox Comes, later known as Augie RFC, who at the time was a small commentator hosting his own live shows. The interview introduced a lot about Tipster, and it formed a friendship between the two.
I remember the biggest streamer that rated me over on Twitch was actually Boogie2988.
No, but you got a boogie raid?
Yeah, I think the clip is still on my stream. But yeah, that was insane. Like, I didn't expect that. Not only that, but I'm actually a fan of Boogie's. I really like his stuff. But I think it was like 300.
I think he ain't much of a fan of Boogie's anymore, since he's working with Tommy. He's like, oh, he's working with the Batman. Ah, ah, ah! Ugh. Screaming, just like I don't want to be near this man. He's gonna touch me, but no square. All right, like, what are you doing to yourself, buddy? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's the reason why. Maybe that's the reason why I think he because like I know, like, you could tell over the years, like, anytime he had to do like Boogie content, he really never like went really hard at Boogie for like some criticisms. Like, granted, the whole the whole thing with what's his face, with Boogie shooting the gun, and the whole Castle Doctor, like, he that was probably the only time I think he actually was very hard on Boogie and everything like that. I will say, I might have to start archiving some tweets and everything like that in the future for a future retrospect of Boogie versus Tipster, because I firmly believe if Tipster really wants to lose weight, he could box Boogie and they could box each other, like, you know, 10 1-minute rounds. They would be out of breath by the second. It'll be like watching the scenes from Chariots of Fire, but instead of them running, it's just them casually walking as they're just trying to like hit each other in the face with the boxing glove that's probably a pillow. Let's be real. They're not even using like real 12-ounce, 8-ounce gloves. They're just really just using. They're just gonna use like pillows. They're gonna use the sock and boppers or something. You guys remember sock and boppers? I remember sock and boppers. I remember sock and boppers. And, you know, she's gonna sit there and go like, yeah, I'm gonna get him right here. Watch this. Oh, bop, bop. I don't know. Maybe. You know what? Look, if Ian can't figure out what can sell Creator Clash 3, that is your fight. Creator Clash 3, co-main event, Boogie versus Tipster. It will be the battle of the folds, okay? Who will win? Everyone will win except for them two. I'm just saying, you know.
People came over from his stream. It's just like, holy crap. It was awesome. And I still, to this day, I still appreciate that.
The other interview was with Tommy C, former co-host of Keemstar's podcast Baited, and current host of his own live show Shot from the Point. Tommy and Tipster went way back to 2016, as Tipster was the first big channel to recognize Tommy before his big break. He also warned him not to join the podcast because he thought Keemstar would f Tommy over, and Tipster supported Tommy through the entire ordeal. It's safe to say they were pretty good friends.
Tipster was there when I got picked up for Baited, before Baited, when Baited fell apart, and he was always, I'm usually the guy everybody leans on, but this is the guy I lean on when I get a little depressed. What the f- going on? But I just want to.
I don't think you can't. You could lean on him all you want, Tommy, but I think you get consumed by the insane the lefty vortex of doom featuring Keffels here. Okay, I think that could be a fair assessment if I can say myself. I do think in reality, like a hindsight, like maybe when Tommy was going through the end of that podcast with Tommy C at first, you know, maybe that was just, maybe he was just kind of like the punching bag for Tommy, and you know Tommy treated him with respect on certain things, but now, oh no, it's like, no, they wouldn't talk to each other.
Right off the freaking bat. That when like this is the guy, this is my psychiatrist. I don't go to you a lot because I'm very mentally strong. I'm a tough guy, not a soy boy. But this is the guy I go to when I'm like, God, man, I can't believe I'm this up.
And given that after the podcast, Tommy C had a running rivalry with Keemstar, that meant that Tipster also didn't like Keem.
Tough guy, not a soy boy. But this is the guy I go to when I'm like, God, man, I can't believe I'm this up.
And given that after
Okay, so Tommy C, I enjoyed you exposing me because I was wrong. I totally forgot that Cavo's covered for me and ran the story. I'm glad I said I don't think I covered it, at least. Full transparency, I'm removing the video. Okay, so trying to remember what video that was, but I'll be putting what Tommy said about this stuff right here, because I do vaguely remember some of this stuff from back in the day, so it I will be putting his stream up next. I will be putting the stream up from let me get it real quick. Blah 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 blah. Let's see, Tommy. Shot for the point.
I'm a therapist who goes to therapy.
Oh God, no, not BetterHelp. Ugh. Okay, there we go. All right, we're good. There we go. Let's see here. Where is chat? Paste. There you go. There you go. That's the link to Tommy's podcast that he did a couple days ago, where he explained his side of how Tipster kind of did him wrong, raw dogged him here, so to speak, as I would say here, no lube even.
the podcast, Tommy C had a running rivalry with Keemstar, that meant that Tipster also didn't like Keem.
I thought you were gonna say something crazy like, I don't know, like Keemstar or something. Like, oh my god.
Nah, Keem.
Yeah.
Damn, you
Everybody
really
knows
said
I
fucking.
don't like Keem.
But come 2019, and things suddenly change. It all began when aspiring quote-unquote journalist Ian Mouse Chong and streamer/pokefeed Andy Warski were getting into a fight over the shared channel that they'd previously made, with Andy accusing Ian of calling in a SWAT team to his house out of retaliation. At the time, Tommy C backed Ian, not believing Andy's story, but he was made to look like an idiot when Ian later admitted that he spotted and tried to kill Andy Warski.
Now, see, I remember this. And there's. I hope I get the opportunity to talk to Andy Warski about this, like in kind of like a hindsight thing about it, because I honestly just like I was watching the coverage of this from Tommy's perspective, and this is gonna sound wild because everyone knows how I feel about that community. The Tonkasol community, and a little bit of the T community covered this, which I was kind of surprised. Like, E. Miles Strong is a dick. Like, no matter what. Like, the fact that you're trying to try to swat Andy Worski and potentially kill his dog. I think he killed his dog with the flashbang and everything. I do believe that E. Miles Strong was not in the right to do that, period, whatsoever. Like, maybe call in a wellness check, probably that would probably been a better idea, you know, but you know what they say about the internet. The internet's a hell of a drug. I mean, that's...
So Tommy apologized and owned up to his mistake. Now, from Tipster's perspective, this isn't something worth paying attention to. I mean, there's no reason to even get involved with any of these people. Tipster's content is far away from what they cover. But for some reason, Tipster decides to unfollow and distance himself from Tommy because he made one bad judgment call. Now, Tommy's obviously taken aback by this, so he confronts...
Hey, you could block me, you could fuck on me all you want for, oh, you could shit on me all you want for getting this wrong, but please... don't act like this is just agree to... that's funny. You unfollowed me, that just makes it personal. Personal considering I have really not called you any names or spoke down to you. You do not show me the same respect. That is just being fake. And then this was a tweet deleted by... And I want to make this perfectly clear. So, like, wasted police equipment and time. Not only did he did it as a makeshift hit squad, he should be under the jail. Yeah, I think that's the reason why he's not in the United States, because I think, like, this is like tinfoil hat, like, you know, things that you read on Reddit conspiracy. This is not my ideas. These are not, these are things that I've seen on Reddit, allegedly saying in a conspiratorial form that Ian, people who use police as hit squad are fucking trash bags. Ian also has some very interesting charges that he still have yet to be charged on, and that's the reason why he's currently in asylum, whatever hell he is in. I think he said he was in Ukraine last time I heard something about it, about him. I mean, if he is, I mean, watch out for mourners.
responds by saying, "Oh, it's an agree to disagree situation between them." But you know, if it...
Oh wait, oh shit. So yeah, but you also got to keep in mind, Ismail Chung was also spam, mass flagging, Twitter, people's Twitters and everything like that. I think he got Augie, because Augie did coverage on it too. I forgot that he did coverage on this. I think he got Ethan Ralph's first. If I remember correctly, I think it was either his first or second account on Twitter at the time. His account got banned by E. Miles Chung. Everything like that. I know Tipsters for sure did, because he told me this, and he showed me the email of this. This was when I first became. I think this is like right around the time I started to, you know, hang out in Discords with him, and in his Discord with him, and chill out, you know. And I think it was like a couple days after Tommy did his whole thing about it, and he was like, "Dude, Emails Trunk just hit my Twitter." I was like, "Really?" Like, why? I was like, I don't know. I think he just doesn't want people's opinions of him to be plastered on social media. And I'm like, well, ain't that something? Like 13, what was it? It's 2019, so 2020, 2021, 22, 2023, 2020, 5 years later. Like 5 years later, he's trying to, he doesn't get the as much algorithm as he used to, so he's sitting there going, oh wait, this is my opinion on this is my whole opinion on that. And like, you almost killed a dog. You killed a dog, allegedly. Okay, so like, and you called SWAT on someone for what? Because you don't like them anymore. Like, come on, get real. But that is just being fake. And then I guess he was responding to something sarcastically responding to Tommy, because whenever this is something that I've noticed of Tommy's Twitter usage anytime throughout the years. If he starts with no fair enough, that's when you should duck and run. Like, I've seen people like get fucking thumped from behind by Tommy because he actually uses their logic against them, and then when he does that, it's just like it blows people's minds. It's like, Tommy just did a Una reverse and he didn't even know it. Like, of course he did.
Agree to disagree situation between them. But you know, if it was, he wouldn't have unfollowed you on Twitter.
Let's see here. No, fair enough. I'm saying you're just being a bit dishonest for telling the public we agreed to disagree when you clearly, when you're clearly to it personal with the unfollow. I would rather much talk unapologetic rather acting like you're cool with me.
Tipster on Twitter, where Tipster responds by saying, "Oh, it's an agree to disagree situation between them." But you know, if it was, he.
And then once again he said, "Yeah, fair enough." But this agree to disagree is a stone lie where just what people know. What people know, since you took it public, the lies suggest that we are still friends. This was not mine idea. This was yours. And he said something and said, how about tell the people what you're telling me in the DMs? Let's start being honest. I am.
He wouldn't have unfollowed you on Twitter. Clearly it's deeper than that. So Tipster's just being a dishonest weasel here for no reason. The day after this argument, Tipster starts liking tweets.
So this is a like tweet by Tipster. It says, at this point Tommy C is like the awkward drunk uncle that kids pee on as soon as he falls. Jesus. No. Like, honestly, like, and this is not to kiss ass or anything like that. Like, Tommy is the type of uncle that will talk sports with you if you like sports, and if you don't like sports, he always has movies to talk to you about. And if you don't like sports or movies, well, he'll just tell you how much his music is better than yours. Music era was better than yours. Who the fuck is Taylor Swift? I don't care who Taylor Swift is. I guess that's how I'm kind of seeing Tommy.
Claim that Tommy is a child molester who pees on kids, and later liked tweets about him being a neglectful father who lets his own kids choke. Tipster would claim that he had never liked those tweets, but
not the exact tweet, but it refers to that situation. Also, just a side note, well, hold on, we'll see here. Can't wait to see how Tommy proves my involvement in a situation I was never involved in. Also, maybe we'll finally see the evidence he's claimed that he had to have that shows I've liked retweets that refer to him as a PDF file and a bad father. Tweets I never liked retweet. This will be fun. First of all, okay, I'm gonna say this. Why would you like, or why would you quote tweet your own tweet? Like, unless you're adding on to it. I feel like you're not adding on to this. Like, even then, like, also just as a side note, even if what he says about my likes and retweets is true, newsflash, it isn't. How much of a bitch do you have to be to get as hurt about likes and retweets? Talk about some petty ass. This is, oh my god, I'm starting to have flashbacks. This is bringing me back to the first the Lolicon debacle of 2023. Okay, like, we're not even a year away from it, and then he had another one this year earlier. Let's see here. I thought you stopped engaging the shit sucker. He's doing a stream on me, Augie and Blowback. Me, Augie, Blowblacks at noon. I'd be lying if I didn't admit I'm at least a little curious of the bullshit that spews out this time. Okay. This is kind of something that I've speculated to myself. In a couple of other people that have talked about Tipster, kind of said out loud, but I'll say it out loud again for the people at home. I feel like Tipster, even though he would get into these dramas, like he would find all these certain dramas that he could poke and prod in, but as soon as he gets poked and prodded, he backs off, like, so instantly, like, but then he comes back into it all over again. Like, what are you doing, Tipster? Like, what are you doing to yourself? You're feeding into the drama that you said you don't want to be a part of anymore. Like, okay. It's kind of unfortunate that we have to come to this, but, you know, it's like I said.
But that was a bold-faced lie that was easily disproved. A few days later, Tommy goes live, rightfully pissed off, and he sends out a warning.
And I also got to find out who my friends were in this situation when things got a little hairy. Yeah, Tipster, I'm talking to you. If things would ever got really hairy for you, I would have stuck up for you like I did all those other guys. Not again. If you make a major fuck up, I'm going to bury you, Tipster. Yesterday, he posts, agree to disagree. Me and Tommy just had a disagreement. Today, he dances on my grave when I get something wrong.
Tipster then responded to this brand by claiming that Tommy...
In this clip, he would be there for me when shit got hairy. Well, where was he when the meme troll and Screenwave media shit happened, or when Triforce and his pals threatened me? Keemstar was there, but where was Tommy? Kind of funny now that I think about it.
Actually didn't help him out in the past, back when he was having troubles, which again seems like a good point if it wasn't a total lie. The next day, Tommy went live exposing his DMs and showing that
At Meme Troll, he also threatened to flag my videos and some more. Dude's literally trying to take my channel down. Dude, you need to watch my new video. It's a very small glimpse of the kind of people I'm dealing with in this game, in this TG. I don't even know what this. On it now. When are you coming on again? Maybe I should do a video of my own. Wish I could. You often do shows when I'm at work.
he was absolutely willing to help Tipster with these issues. And then after this stream, Tipster ran...
Oh my god. Why does my fucking twin... See, this is why I can't escape drama. Ugh. Even my twin. Gamer G Lee. It's shout out to Gamer G Lee, by the way. He does deserve a lot of love at the moment. So, Tipster says, watching Tommy stream, FYI, I tried to keep our parting ways private. Tommy insisted on making it public. Just thought I would set the record straight. Okay, I thought you were agreeing me with me at the end, buddy. All I saw was you kept going tonight. Kept going tonight. Saw some of the stuff in the kill stream and the retweets. And when I say go separate ways, that means I do not talk about you, you do not talk about me. See this? Tommy wants it public. He doesn't want to keep it private like adults.
And one of Tommy's friends playing victim, saying that
you can't. Okay, hold on here. I'm gonna say this. perfectly now. As a person now that has been an adult for 10 plus years now. This current generation, like the 2000, like the Gen X, Gen Y, the millennials, X, Y, and Z. In terms of this, like Tipster's a millennial, Tommy is a millennial. They're doing a lot of I will say in criticism of this, I will say Tipster and Tommy are acting like what modern like XYZ generation would do. Like Gen Alpha, they don't know what type of fuckery is about to happen to their lives here because they're now just finally getting into into middle school and all that. Bless their hearts. Yeah, bless me. But this is high school shit. Like that. But at the same time, like, look, you're adults. If you can't keep it in your pants between you two, like, especially Tipster, because let's be real, Tipster has a way of just kind of without missing a beat to himself. He has this way of kind of poking and prodding from a distance. It's like poking with a 20-foot pole blindfolded and hoping that you don't step on the bed of hot rocks. Like, because as soon as you make a noise, it's public. It's like, and that's what Tipster did in this situation. I think that's what he did. I think that's what he does in this current thing with the commentary community, because apparently this is a thing. He still pokes and prods about how how the commentary community hurt me. Oh, how the commentary community hurt my feelings. They didn't protect me when I was being called Lolly Defender and all that. Well, I'm sorry, Tipster, but you defended someone, and I'm being fair in this. You became a white guard, or whatever the white knight, for someone who honestly doesn't deserve the hate. It was an accident. That's a whole nuclear take right there. The fact that person was getting attacked by Nicholas Dury and everything like that. You could have just came beside them and said, "Hey, listen here. I don't think what she did is cool and all, but it was an accident. You need to settle down." Like that's the take right there. And then maybe he would be still in commentary. Who knows? But he actually is still in commentary. He's just on what is considered the hybrid, like the T. It's like a Frankenstein. Actually, not even a hybrid. It's a Frankenstein of bread tubing and bread tubers and commentary. And for those who don't understand, bread tubers are like political YouTubers. Mostly political commentators that are on either YouTube or Twitch that are usually very left wing, and will disagree with you on tumultuous amount of things. Now, I will say this: not all bread tubers are bad. Stardust, who I actually do like listening to her content, she absolutely does a good job of covering things, and should honestly be highly respected from both sides, but apparently not as much as they used to, I guess, because of Tipster and all that whole shit. I guess it's whatever.
This was all meant to be kept private. So I know what you're thinking. Why did Tipster turn so quickly on Tommy C? Why did Tipster burn the bridge with a friend of 3 years and totally lie over and over again? Well, whilst there's nothing confirmed, it seems pretty obvious why in retrospect. In his stream, Tommy also exposed that Tipster had recently been
Just got my first paycheck from the new MCM. Holy shit, 10% makes a big difference. Bottom line, thanks for getting me kicked out of my previous MCM meme tard. You did me a huge favor. Hook me up. Trust me, you can't get the deal I got. Ask me why, lol, because Keen hooked you up? Yeah, lol. Sorry, bro, I wish I... See, now that's a dick move right there. I wish I could help, if I could, but I don't have that kind of...
hooked up with a new multi-channel net.
Like, okay. And here's... okay, that rubs me the wrong way. And, like, I've only watched bits and pieces of this video, and so that's the reason why I'm kind of reacting to this a little bit more thoroughly, but sorry, bro. I would help if I could, but I don't have that kind of clout. I mean, listen. Like, if you were still friendly with them, like, and like not in terms of like homies and everything like that, like, okay, cool, whatever. Fine. Like, just tell them, like, hey, no, unfortunately I wouldn't be able to do it at the moment, you know, but if you ask me a couple months down the line, maybe. Because at the moment, I think they're just only doing it because Keem's asking them to do it, or rather, get a few months under my belt, and then I could possibly ask about you getting, a membership, getting in this MCN. Which, by the way, I like to point this out because, something, we're gonna look at one more segment in this video, because we're gonna look at a CoffeeZilla video that just came out, about an MCN, robbing some people some money. So that's interesting, say the least. Because I've kind of always been sketched about MCNs. Like, I know the biggest one was Maker Studios and everything like that. It's unfortunate that when Disney came in, it tore down a lot of the hard work, like Total Biscuit, Crendor, Dex Bonus, Dodger, Jesse Cox, a lot of other people. Ask Kassem, he was a part of Maker for a little bit, but yeah, you know, it's sad that it had to came down to that, which, like, you know.
Network thanks to Keemstar, who had helped him deal with his previous issues. And guess who hopped in when Tipster and Tommy were arguing? At Tommy C. That was a thing to do to backstab Tipster game.
See, now, when this happened, I remember when this happened. It was like
that.
fucking crazy.
And guess what Tipster tweeted after? I'm the one who dick rides at Keemstar, but the same dude that said I dick ride at...
I'm the one who dick rides Keemstar, but same dude who says I dick ride Keemstar writes tweets like this about Keemstar.
Keemstar writes tweets like this about at Keemstar.
You want this Keemstar cock.
It's amazing that this is the first...
Still find that funny.
This big drama that Tipster was in, because it shows him turning on his morals in an instant. He went from #1 Keemstar hater Tommy supporter to the complete opposite, and all because Keemstar helped him in one situation. Tipster acts like allegiances are the closest thing to him, but also turns on them for literally any reason. It's clear here that he saw an opportunity to change teams. Tipster and Tommy's beef would go on back and forth for a few months, with Tipster taking most of the L's. Only a couple of months after their argument, Tipster would be involved in a botched Instagram predator investigation by small YouTubers, and when he wasn't doing that or giving us the latest gaming news, he was responding to videos on him from channels with literally 1 subscriber. But eventually, all this would be overshadowed as a much bigger drama came to town, which would unite the entire commentary community. In early 2019, a YouTuber by the name of Suzy Lou was making videos where...
Alright, let me... So, I want to, so I'm, for those who don't know, the whole Dojangles and the AP over 9. I was more about the AP over 9K. I know a little bit more about that, but not the Dojangles part. So we're gonna I might see where that goes here. Just see.
After the technicals video, Tipster would begin to drift away from the commentary community because he really was beaten that hard, and he decided to take down all of his old videos, gearing more towards variety streaming and playing games. And let me tell you, these streams are fire.
Would you ever pose for a fetish site? I would imagine someone out there has a fat fetish. No, never. Nope. I'll admit it. I'm very insecure about my body, so like, absolutely not. I mean, I don't understand why my wife likes to see me naked. I don't like looking at myself naked, so like.
I mean, she's your wife. Allegedly. I mean, like. Okay, if you're with someone for a long time and they look at you like they're okay with you naked, you should honestly, like, you shouldn't be making that statement. I'm just saying, like, you know.
I don't know why my wife likes to see me naked.
But again, this guy's playing the whole fence-sitting game, because whilst he said in words that he was leaving the commentary community, he was still engaging in drama with other content creators like BX Bullet, John Swan, Lyrics, all these people, and in the following days, he would drop even lower. On May 12th, 2022, Tipster posted this tweet about Amaranth announcing she was leaving OnlyFans, but if you look closely at the screenshot, it says the video was made 1 minute ago, and he's watched around 30 seconds of it. So, seems like Tipster's a bit of an Amaranth simp, and many people noticed and make fun of him. Of course, at the time, this was all just jokes and fun, no one took this serious, and I mean, the screenshot shows he wasn't even subscribed to her, so he probably got it from someone else, right? Well, not exactly, because Tipster took all these jokes to heart. He started unfollowing and blocking people who he had been friends with for years over these tweets, and responded with anime villain gifs. Unfollow a few people, and everyone starts coping. Rent-free. Twitter feed looking less cancer at the moment. Kinda wish I did this sooner. Why does everyone who with me lately end up getting over twice as hard?
Okay. To Finn East come up to him and say, like, Tipster, it's time to go on your shadow arc. By the way, can you like my art?
I guess karma really is a f***ing bitch.
I am 37 years old.
And then everyone clowned on him even more for actually taking this seriously, and so he went on his sad boy arc, stepping away from the net for a bit. Don't know when I'll be back, but right now my mental health is more important, and I need to focus on that more than anything. I'll be back when the time is right. In the meantime, take care, and know that I love you all. See you soon. And then he deactivates his Twitter account again. Let me be clear, this is over people making jokes about a screenshot of Amaranth. Really? This guy's like 35 years old, and he's tweeting like he's 50.
Okay. See, now, if I was smart, I wouldn't show that I would move the bar over enough to where it looked like I did watch the video and not just screenshot it. Like, that would be the more, like, actual, like, big brain moment right there. Like, the fact that you only watched 30 seconds of it blows me away. But I mean, then again, I responded to it, and I sat there like the Simps are crying, malding, seething. I mean, hindsight's 2020. He was the one that was coping, malding, and seething because everyone made fun of him for it. I didn't understand why.
The tip had gone from a strong height in 2021, with respect and jokes and memes, to being a shrinking version of his former self, losing subs, losing views, losing respect. But sadly for him, this was only the beginning of the end, and so much more would start to be revealed. So what we've learned from the previous section is that Tipster is subject to a lot of jokes, most of which he brings onto himself and plays into. But considering that he genuinely took the Amaranth meme seriously, it starts to bring into question the line between joke and reality. Is the meme real? Is Tipster really this flirtatious guy online who talks to his goth mummies? And what does that say about him, a married man? One of the people who was there to bring her questions was Dojangles, who is a small content creator in her own right, but she's more well known for being the girlfriend of Mudaha, or some ordinary gamers. Do would start to put out tweets making fun of Tipster and his virtual e-girl harem, saying,
all these Tipster insane e-whores should have a death match in a coliseum where it gets the sniff his taint. Provided they you know what? Based.
Death match in a coliseum. Winner gets to sniff his taint, provided they can locate it. Tipster would hit back by saying, "You seem salty."
Seems salty, then you're not one of them. Sorry, but I don't bother with pick me girls.
But you're not one of them. Sorry, but I don't bother with pick me girls. Do then said, "Nah, just pick my people better."
Pick my people better.
Not married and not obese. By the way, Lardas has been trying for the last 4 years. Follows me on Twitter every week and blocks because I don't follow back. Goes around searching for people on Facebook. Everyone who buys the teddy bear thing is dumb AF. Tipster hit back by saying, "Seems you got kind of mad about my little tweet. Meanwhile, I've been tweeting about me for months and I haven't said a peep until now. Also, I go around searching for people on Facebook? What the f are you talking about?" In the following tweets, Mudaha would chime in to defend his girl, to which Tipster hit back before Doe accused him of repeatedly following and unfollowing her.
See, she's pretty smart, dog. Don't worry. She finally got you to pick her, didn't she? Jay goes, bro. Aren't you the one who follows me on Twitter each week that blocks me to follow back? Okay.
Twitter friends with her, an experience that Moonhall later supported.
No, the whole context was he kept trying to like keep messaging my girlfriend and keep getting on her good side, and she obviously doesn't want anything to do with it. That's it.
Wait,
That's how it is.
DMs are publicly. DMs are publicly.
Trying to publicly get back in a following, like good grace. She doesn't want any attention from him, and that's it. Done.
This interaction would lead to Dojangles and Tipster confronting each other on Augie RFC's stream on May 30th, 2022, in which he alleges that Tipster's behavior around his e-harem is only the latest in a long pattern of concerning behavior. Alongside the claim that Tipster was constantly following and unfollowing her back to become Twitter friends, she also claims that he was doing that 4 years ago when she was in a VC with commentary YouTuber Colossus Crazy. Doe also claims that back in the day, Tipster tried to contact Paige the Panda by tracking down her personal Facebook and sending friend requests. Just to remind you, Paige the Panda is the girl who was groomed by Linemaker. Tipster denies.
What? What? He's trying to get into contact with someone that who got harassed by Linemaker? Bro. Oh my god. Bro. How do you... Man, and at this point, when all this was happening, I think that was when I finally just was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna stay back and just watch. I'm just gonna watch whatever. I'm just gonna watch someone else. I think that was when I went full tilt on Tommy for the longest time.
That he was trying to follow and unfollow Dojangles, stating that he didn't even know who she was 4 years ago. He also states that he did send a friend request to Paige the Panda's personal Facebook, but they had been in contact prior and his intentions...
Bro! What? I would ask first. If you were that good of friends. But if she's not responding to your friend requests or anything like that, just get off the fucking internet, bro. Like, what are we doing here, Tipster? My God.
were just to get back in touch, not to be weird. He later apologized if he came off creepy.
Here's what I'll say, okay? If I had ever done anything that made her feel uncomfortable, or anyone for that matter, I sincerely apologize, because that was never my intention whatsoever.
This seems like a forced one.
I don't know if that means anything to her or anything, and that's fine. You know, however she feels about it, she feels about it. But I have never done anything to try and make anyone feel uncomfortable. And I sincerely apologize. If you're telling me the truth and you're saying she was uncomfortable, I apologize for that.
Though this admission makes Tipster look kind of weird, he actually came out of the debate looking better to most of the audience watching. This was because even though Doe got him to concede on one of his points, she didn't provide much evidence to say that Tipster was a creep towards her. And also I guess they found her annoying and it was like she was blowing up tweets into a whole beef. But only a day later, Doe's comments would become prophetic.
I think Tipster's just, yeah, he's just a nice dude. Like, I've never gotten any weird energy from him. But
I'm just saying, because if at any point this had happened and there are all these sexually charged messages, I mean, now is the time to come forward, you know?
Whoa. Tipster gay.
On the 31st of May 2022, AP over 9K, a former friend of Tipster's, dumped the DMs between herself and Tipster on Twitter. They included pages of messages, some of which were crusty as fuck. Sat down in my office chair this morning, and my pants split in the ass. Had to rush home and change. Lol. That's awesome. No, it wasn't. Lol. Just that selfie from this morning where I said I was going to bed. And because I'm blurry face, I don't fucking know, lol. It's actually pretty easy to hurt my feelings. I thought you looked great in that photo, to be honest. Goth mom, you could get it. Lol.
The cringe is hurting.
I don't give this to many people, but if you ever need to talk, don't hesitate to call or text me. I'm a busy guy, so I may not respond immediately, but I will respond. Gotcha, thank you. Anything for pink-haired, hot goth mommy. Lamau JK.
So this was before Keffels. Oh my god.
Notice the new profile picture. Not gonna lie, looking kinda hot in hot pink. Thanks, lol, I love it. Yeah, it looks good. Even hotter goth mommy, haha. New profile picture is even better, homie. You a hot goth, haha. Bro, I fried my hair earlier and cut it off. What? Nice, looks great. Also, your friend is kinda cute, huh? Hey yo, she's 16. Oof.
Ooh! Hold up. Wait a minute. Yo, that's some sus shit. Yo. Like,
I was
holy
only joking, trying to do some of the
fuck.
things in the way, but I guess I kind of set myself up for that one. Sorry, lol. But hold on, let's take a step back. How did we get here? Who is AP over 9K? Well, she was a publicly known friend of Tipster's who had begun regularly appearing on his streams over the last few months. Tipster and AP were fairly close friends, even after that one time she was live on VC and called her DoorDash driver the N-word.
To be nice, like, oh, my mom's hot. Like, I don't think that's weird. Wait,
Did you
what?
say that?
What?
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay.
Yeah, you got.
Wait, hold on. Who was in that call? Tomato Man, AP, Ghosty. Oh. Oh, Ghost. Oh my god, Moogle was in that call. I remember that now. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's not
Sorry.
weird at all.
Okay, yeah,
Bro,
that's
see,
not
this is what
okay.
I'm
That's
talking
not
about.
okay. Well, that's why she got removed from the call, because that's not
No,
okay.
get the fuck out of here.
During Tipster's commentary videos purge, Boblax made a comment on it saying it was a bit extreme, and him and Tipster had a bit of a back and forth. Although it wasn't heated at all, more of just a discussion. Then Tipster deactivates his account again after these milquetoast tweets, and AP jumps in defending Tipster like it's tag team wrestling. This all leads to a live debate between AP and Boblax, where she shows up drunk as balls, and the debate goes so bad for her that Tipster just deletes the server they're in.
Have you checked yourself for full-blown retardation?
Yes,
Like-
I'm diagnosed with
Oh,
autism.
fuck.
I have all the files to prove it.
Yeah, I know. That's Augie and Boblax. It's so funny.
Okay, let's get serious again, though. Let's get serious.
What's going on?
Let's get super serial, guys. Okay.
Are you good?
Are you drunk? Do you have a little too much red wine?
Oh.
From the server. Wait, what? Wait, what? Tipster deleted the server.
After this, AP claims that Tipster put her into this debate.
Tonight I was pulled into a live stream with someone with hundreds of thousands of followers and did not know it. And the fact that was made apparent, of course, the correct thing to do was drop the conversation entirely. Of course, that did not
Without telling her
happen.
she was live, which caused a rift between the two. Eventually, AP turned on Tipster, and Tipster did the usual sad anime gif response. Sometimes I wonder why I even bother being a loyal friend to people who clearly don't deserve it, because when it comes time to return the favor, I always get kicked to the curb. I'm too kind for my own good. So fast forward to
Maybe if you grew a backbone, maybe that might help.
AP dropping all of her DMs with Tipster. What exactly is in these leaks? Apart from the cringy DMs, there isn't really anything damning against Tipster here, but he just looks pathetic, or a victim stuck between two groups of people. In these DMs, he's constantly being pushed around and insulted by AP. It's clear she was not a good friend to him. But you see this, and you have to question, why wouldn't Tipster talk to the people he's been friends with for years, like Boblax, Nick, and Augie, or for f***'s sake, his wife? Instead, he confided all this in a girl who he met over TikTok a couple of months ago and started flirting with while he's already married. And why do these commentary nobodies get to him so easily? Tipster would respond to the leaks on the same day, saying, yes, I've seen the leaks. I was nothing but supportive of her when she was in need of a friend. And even when we had a falling out, I kept my feelings on the matter to myself out of respect for her privacy. Wait, Tipster, that's a lie. You literally made a tweet being...
See, now, that's a pattern right there. Like, sad anime gif, reaction, oh, woe's me in the world. Like, when I was a young boy, my father, you know, that, like, My Chemical Romance type of, sadness would happen. Would wonder even why be a little friend, like, you know, it's just like you go into sadness and then you sit there and you go into what I like to call the Clinton House special, where you try to clean up and say, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. I am Tipster. Like, he's doing the Bill Clinton thing with the thumb too, so they're going like, I did not try to be creepy with that woman. She sent me fresh menudo. And she put Tapatio on it. Like that shit. I bet, you know what, I'm gonna say nuclear take. I think Bill Clinton had a Nintendo 64 growing up, while he was the president. Just played with the D-pad, the middle stick right there. It's like, that's right, Donkey Kong. You get that ship going. that shit. It's so fucking
Like,
hilarious.
with the anime sad gif about like your friendship breaking up. That's a lie. You lied. Tipster lied. We were just two friends, supporting one another, sharing jokes with one another, talking about our families with one another, and we would be there for each other in times of need. It's a shame that things happened the way they did, but it is what it is. My conscience is clean.
You're a married guy, right? It can't be easy here all the time.
I mean, yeah, I'm a married dude, and happily married. By the way, everybody's speculating on the state of my marriage. It's fine. Everybody seems to think I'm gonna get a divorce or whatever because of this. But no, like, everything's fine. I talked to my wife about this, the day that it happened, and then, like, this morning, and she was just like, who cares? Because, like, she watches my streams, and we make jokes and comments like this on the air, and she sees it, and she doesn't fucking care. No, it's not.
She's in on it. She's right there with me. You know, that's what a good relationship is.
We're,
But that's
we're the type of couple. We're the type of couple that we can be scrolling through.
See, though, like, to be fair, and I'm gonna use this as a joke. This is just clearly a joke here, because we're all about having a good time here. You know, at least you know, Dave and his girl. At least Dave and his girl was actually do normal things like you know, go out to the movies, eat frozen Wendy's chili, which, by the way, I would like to point this out. The best fast food chili out there, like, regardless of how you feel about dietary needs and everything like that, it's always going to be Steak and Shake. There's nothing that you could tell me that will change my mind that Steak and Shake chili is the best.
Instagram pictures, and I'd be like, yo, that chick's pretty hot, huh? And she's like, yeah, and then, like, she does the same thing with dudes or whatever. So it's like, that's just how our relationship is.
Even though there was some funny stuff in AP's leaks, people were on Tipster's side because he'd essentially been backstabbed and his friends sided with him. He treated AP so nicely in DMs, only for her to publish them online. This is probably the first time in his career that Tipster was actually a victim who got f***ed over, and thankfully this will be the springboard for him to re-enter the commentary community. But the drama was far from over. Now, at this time, Tipster was talking a lot about his mental health, and later on he was preaching about how the commentary scene impacted his mental health. He's the one who holds it fairly high, takes it fairly seriously, and you wouldn't expect Tipster to be embroiled in any controversy where he seriously mishandles someone's mental health. But that was exactly what happened. During late 2022, Tipster got involved in a controversy with another small commentator by the name of Colton. Colton is a guy who has often struggled with his mental health. In March 2022, he attempted to take his own life, but thankfully survived due to him previously contacting Hannah Animal, one of the many e-girls who were friends of Tipster. Hannah would call a wellness
Oh my god.
check, and Colton's life would be saved. Fast forward to November 2022, and Colton has now recently been in an e-relationship with a girl by the name of Bonnie. However, it was in November where she accused him of a number of heinous actions. One of these was Colton apparently being creepy and pushy when they interacted sexually, which was almost immediately rescinded after she was questioned on it, and the other is an accusation that one night Colton apparently faked a suicide attempt with her by swallowing a bunch of pills. Colton testified by saying, "In October, I was struggling with a dependence on sleeping pills introduced me by an early relationship. One night I told my future accuser I took some because I was depressed and wanted to get high, and she was with another drug. But the meds were what I had on hand. I attempted giving benefit of the doubt in this claim of miscommunication because I don't have a good memory, especially when I'd get high, and I likely phrase it in a terrible way, also due to my altered state of mind. This individual insisted, however, that she knew for a fact that I was trying to make her think I was suicidal, despite the fact that she had no knowledge of my past attempts and that we watched movies and hung out for hours after. So where does Tipster come into this small commentary drama? When making her allegations, Bonnie said to Colton that she believed Colton was suicide baiting because a bigger influencer had told her he had a history of suicide baiting. Colton's immediate assumption was Tipster, because as we know, Tipster has an innate desire to get involved into drama with literal nobodies. So on November 9th, Colton asks Tipster, "That isn't baiting though. I regret doing that, but obviously a suicidal person will be upset when their plans are interrupted. I mean, it depends. If you didn't actually intend to do it, it's baiting. I know of at least 2 girls you've done this to, and now I'm guessing a third is accusing of the same. Dog, lol. Did no one teach you how to court women? Because saying you're going to game in Minecraft ain't it, dog." This of course coming from Tipster, the guy who goes on Twitter every day and asks random e-girls if they want the tip. Who else did I do that to? By the way, I never faked it. I was always struggling with that.
See, that's they're almost two sides of the same coin, so to speak. You know. But at least the difference is Colton actually has some talent. And actually can make Keemstar laugh and giggle with dance moves, while Tipster, I mean, you could probably eat Menudo upside down and chug a beer at the same time. Like, I don't know if that's possible, but I mean,
that. So I'm not going to say because I ain't throwing no one under the bus. I'm just saying I've heard it personally from 2 girls who have no relationship with each other, and now you're asking me about this with a 3rd girl? Bro, lol. The following day, Bonnie published her accusations to Twitter, and Tipster once again said the same stuff, adding that Colton was acting way too paranoid by suspecting him. I'm staying out of it. I don't cover sub-community drama anyways. Well, I'll just say good luck dealing with her. She's a borderline sexual predator who's trying to twist it against me, and I really hope you weren't the one in the DMs saying those things about me. Dude, you're way too paranoid. I'm sorry if you aren't that person. I'm just freaking out right now because people actually believe I wronged her in some way. I'd never do that to a girl, and I feel so sick about it. I don't know about everything she's saying, but the things she does show receipts for look pretty bad. Yeah, because she's cutting the parts where I dismantle the points. She's He's editing it so it makes it look better. It's sickening. I'm just gonna stay out of it. As I said before, I don't do the sub-community shit anyways. In the next couple of hours, Colton found out that Tipster had Bonnie as one of his chat mods for his streams, and after that, managed to obtain leaks of Tipster's DMs with Bonnie. And well, take a look. Bro, Colton called me on Discord saying how he's high and depressed and sad. And took a bunch of sleeping pills, SMH lol. I tried screen recording, but I just realized screen recording doesn't pick up Discord audio. I told you he does that kind of shit. And if you call in a wellness check, he's going to harass you forever, like he does everyone else who's done that. You said this? Now, after being caught completely gaslighting and being a total piece of shit, Tipster was confronted, and instead of like a meaningful apology, he just completely doubles down. I understand if you're upset, and that's valid. I own that. But I wasn't gonna let you do that to another one of my friends. You had already done it to two of my friends before, and I didn't want it to happen again. As long as you know that you completely your credibility by gaslighting me.
Now I remember this. Because, now I remember the gaslighting of one girl in particular, the whole winter thing. I think if let me, where's Skelly? There's Mr. E Skeletox in his channel. He did a video about Colton a couple of months ago. And if you guys want like the full context of like Colton over the years, like that's another one right there for you. So just to keep you guys in mind of that. But yeah, I've been around. I was a mod when he was dealing with Colton. I think because the winter stuff was like right around towards the middle of the pandemic. Like and he would try to like tell me what's going on and everything like that. Like, and I will say this, with the winter stuff, like there's some stuff I don't remember, like very clearly, but I think there were some things that Colton did wrong, but I wasn't gonna put it against him because he was a kid. He was he's a young guy. He has more room for error than Tipster does. More room for error than I do. And that's the reason why I kind of just sit back with a lot of these things, and I sit there and go like, I'm just gonna let it play out, and then I'm gonna try my best to make a fair and valid opinion of this. Now, that's the way that I was told that I should do as what Tipster has always kind of shared with me about being a commentator on this platform and everything.
Not really, but okay, lol. So you didn't call me paranoid and pretend like you didn't know who she was when you were saying those things about me? You acted as if I was crazy for thinking you did it, then you admitted it. That's gaslighting. You're just pissed because I was right about what I told her, and now everyone knows you have a pattern of doing this. You're not a kid anymore. Now grow some balls and own up to your I'm not here to baby you. I'm here to give it to you real. You have some serious issues that you need to work on. You're right, I'm not a kid anymore, yet you're bringing up situations from when I was 17. If you weren't here to baby me and give it to me real, you wouldn't have lied and gaslighted me. I did nothing wrong to Bonnie, and you're enabling this delusional victim complex she has. If I'm not a kid anymore, why bring up situations from when I was? How long do I have to be changed until this is no longer relevant? Because you're still that person, Colton. Prove it. Because what Bonnie had was me getting high. I warned her, and then less than a week after I warned her, you did it to her too. That isn't suicide baiting. Maybe some people buy that bullshit, but I don't. You're delusional too then. To think saying I took sleeping pills to get high is suicide baiting. I made that abundantly clear to her, so it is miscommunication. She's outright lying. Oh, I'm depressed. I'm gonna take a bunch of pills now. Fuck off with that bullshit, dude. Then why would we
Wow. Like, it seems like the more I've noticed, like, the last real DMs I've had with Tipster was like 2020. It was like late 2021, 2022. I mean, I can't say that. I messaged him letting him know that he was nominated for a Spurky from the Now Recording Spurgy Awards. I think that's like one of the reasons why I got blocked. Hindsight, but I mean, you know, it is what it is.
Remain on call to hang out for hours immediately after. I tried to kill myself and immediately watch movies with her and talk for hours. Make it make sense. This is all besides the point that you absolutely did gaslight me, by the way. I've owned up to everything I've done wrong. She hasn't, and neither of you. And here we got Tippy Tunnel Vision kicking in. Tipster can't answer the question, so he just deflects. Look, I ain't got time for your bull. If you can't own up for the fact that you still are a suicide beta, then you're on your own. I'm not gonna waste my time with someone who clearly can't see the error in their ways. I wish you nothing but the best, but I'm out. Peace. Tipster's source for this, by the way, is just random people telling him that Colton has baited before. The only two instances we actually have proof of and know of, one time he actually attempted, and the other time it's pretty obvious that the intention wasn't suicide. But Tipster has no remorse, and in fact, it wouldn't be until April 2023 when he finally apologized to Colton. Of course, with his apology being buried near the end of a 4-hour live stream. But back in Christmas Eve 2022, when all this been publicly posted, these small parts of the commentary community were now even more aware of how much of a piece of the Tipster was. His response? Well, another blocking spree. So, it's been a while. Let's check up on AP, Tipster's favorite e-girl wine mom goth mommy. What's up with her? Where is she at? Well, the actual reason she posted DMs of Tipster after his debate with Dojangles is because Craig Beckett, another small commentary YouTuber who hated Tipster, would advise her to release the DMs. But after Craig was exposed for DMing and sexting a 17-year-old girl whilst he was 27 by Tipster, Tipster and AP were able to rekindle their friendship. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can you ever trust someone who leaked your entire DMs to the public and humiliated you, Tipster? And don't worry, because everyone else told Tipster the exact same thing. But alas, Tipster did not listen. Predictably, this would blow up in Tipster's face a few months later when AP over 9K was caught forcing her kid to call someone the N-word on Discord.
Actually, you know what? No, keep me in the call. 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 Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. What? I need you to say one thing. Hold on, everyone shut up! Say Smondile is a fucking... Do it.
No.
Do it.
No.
Smondile.
Why the fuck would you say? Oh my god. Ooh. I didn't even know she did that.
That was the only thing to get my phone back. I did it.
Okay, okay.
See, why would you make your kid say something that is now in public? Like, as soon as people find out that you're his mom, best hope that kid don't get, like, beaten up. Because, like, that's some... Like, I've seen some people who had their kids say, like, every big slur in the book. Right? And then when they try to explain why they won't snitch on their parents, it's because they fear that they're gonna get in trouble. But in this case, she snitched on herself. Now, I'm not saying she's a racist. I have no idea. And, you know, she was being a little bit of a fucking edgelord, but you don't, like, my whole policy is, like, you could say those words if you want to, but keep kids out of it. That's the 100% thing I'll say. Keep kids 100% out of it. Keep people's family out of it. Keep anyone out of it. Just keep them out of it. And the fact that happened. Because I remember when this leaked out, I still get shocked about it. Like, I remember when this call came out. Like, I'm still flabbergasted. Like, you can hear my shock a little bit. I'm still kind of flabbergasted by it. You know? It's just...
Yeah, call CPS. That's funny, because a lot of people have tried, but it doesn't work, does it?
Now, the guy who exposes this to the public, a commentary orbiter by the name of DJ Screwdriver, puts up a thread with the evidence, alternatively referring to AP as Tipster's goth mommy friend. Tipster had an issue with this for some reason, and instead of going for a private resolution or ignoring it, instead he decided to block DJ Screwdriver. But why did he have an issue with this thread? I mean, AP is only known by most people in the community as Tipster's friend from the whole goth mommy thing. That kind of makes sense to say. Well, according to Tipster, it's dumb that I'm expected to respond to allegations that have all to do with me. I'm not their handler. This is both a lie and just wrong. First of all, DJ Screwdriver never said that Tipster had to respond to any of this until he was blocked. But again, Tipster has this impulse to respond to literally everything that's attached to him. And even if they did ask for Tipster's response, I totally understand why. AP's whole history revolves around Tipsters. Nearly everything she's done online involves Tipster. She's known as his co-host and friend. She used to be a fan of his. He would put her on streams. He gave her his phone number. And even after she leaked their DMs, he was still a friend. He even started the goth mommy meme because of her. It makes sense that DJ would mention Tipster to give context. But of course, Tipster can't see the reasoning past his roles. Tipster decided to go even
That's why he had to use that picture.
further, because of course he can't let things be, and he called into DJ Screwdriver's Twitter space, subsequently making himself look like an idiot.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, Tipster.
Yo, you want to know why you got blocked?
Why did I get blocked, Tipster?
Because you're making it like you're trying really hard to associate with me with a situation that I had nothing to do with. What does this have to do with me? Yes,
Did
I
I-
did something stupid, and the whole time you're naming me in your stupid thread is if I have something to do with it. I have nothing to do with what AP did. I'm not AP's handler, and I don't understand why I have to explain the way I feel about it when I'm not the one who did it. I'm not accountable for her actions.
Did I say you were?
No, but what do you think is the point of mentioning me in the thread? What's the point of that? I did something stupid that we can all agree is wrong, but what the
Yeah.
do I have to do with that?
You're her friends, and that's how people know her.
So what? So we're doing guilt by association then? That's fucking
That's not
bullshit.
that's not guilt by association.
No,
that's just
literally guilt by
association.
association.
That's
You're
just
literally saying
association.
She's your friend, so you have to explain how you feel about it.
I
That's
didn't say
fucking
that.
retarded.
I didn't say that though. I just said she was.
Okay, so that in that case, if we're gonna use that method here, do I think it's a little bit of guilt by association? I could suppose that maybe, but I wouldn't say it's guilt by association. I think it's just sitting there go like, hey, like I think everyone in the commentary community was sitting there go like, hey, buddy, your co-host said this. What do you got to say about this? Like, if she's on your show and you called her multiple times your co-host, I would think, you know, I would think you would tell people like, hey, like, yeah, they were my co-host. I'm gonna address this privately, and I'll let you guys know what's going on, and then come out a couple days later, or like a day later, sit there, go like, hey, we had a discussion. I felt like it would be in my best interest not to work with this person moving forward. We separated our own ways. Like, they're more than welcome to still watch stream and everything like that, but this is how I'm wanting to go about things now moving forward. That's it. And like DJ got ultimately like fucked by Tipster, like unintentionally and intentionally. Unintentionally because, like, you know, he it's just a survival instinct for Tipster, like just any little ounce of criticism against him, and it's just like, nope, I can't be friends with this person anymore, blocked and everything like that, because like I was very critical of him being friendly with Vosh. Like, I sat there, not friendly with Vosh, I was sitting there go like, I was sitting there on Twitter going like, dude, why are you, like, dude, why are you trying to deflect all this shit that Vosh is getting for saying that, you know, he wants to be a horse, and not only that, he has very suggestive photos of minors. Like, I don't know about you, but those very suggestive photos are considered cheese pizza, you know? I'm just saying that. I think people just... I think, well, people just need to leave me alone, and if they don't like my opinion, then they could suck it. Well, I mean, no one doesn't want to talk to you if you're gonna be like that, you know? Like, no one's gonna respect your opinion if you're not giving yourself the jurisdiction of, like, hey, look, they're just a coworker of mine. They did something wrong, and I'm not working with them now. That is what I am saying moving forward. I'm separating myself away from this person. They can have their fun with it. It's all good. I wish them well in whatever they do, but I gotta stay in my own lane. And I don't need any more distractions like that in my own lane. And then everything would be okay, you know? Like, some people would want a more broader explanation. Like, I know there's some people, especially with the whole Lawgate 2023 happened, that everyone was wanting your like the whole rundown, like the whole book, like everyone was expecting Tipster to have like a whole book of like, if this was Lolly, this is how I would judge that it's Lolly, like that type of shit. It was almost like an OJ thing here, like if I did it, this is how I would do it, type of shit. And then he basically just made a if this is how I did it part 2, this time I actually do it for real, like that type of shit. Like, I mean, God rest OJ, you know, bless up. But, fucking, that is yikes, my dude. Just straight up yikes.
Who was her friend?
So what was the point of mentioning me in it then? What was the point of mentioning me in the thread for something that she did?
To give context of who she is. People don't know who she is.
And right here is where the Tippy tunnel vision kicks in again. He can't answer the DJ Screwdriver's counter, so what does he do?
Okay, bro. Yeah, I guess so. That's why you got blocked, because this doesn't have anything to do with me, and you really want to make it about me. Enjoy your little 15 seconds of fame, loser.
No one has ever been this mad about being mentioned, but I guess when it's the people you're sucking up to like Nick and Boblax, the outrage isn't there. By this time, it was clear that Tipster hadn't learned. He was still an idiot, and everyone knew it. I mean, even though we've been covering smaller situations he was involved in and completely losing, Tipster's reputation in the bigger spaces wasn't much better, as he was being dragged by commentary trolls like Salvo Pancakes.
You act like 35-year-old me has to address some teenager as if like, oh my god, I have to respond to every single person who ever criticizes me on the internet.
Salvo and later Keemstar would constantly troll and meme on Tipster and his wife, and Tipster really just kind of took it laying down. And whilst most of these clips are lost to time, what is still about is clips where other YouTubers are angry at Tipster for not sticking up for his wife.
Like, I love you, Tipster, but I have to say this, man. If Gareth had done what you did by like backpedaling like that, I would have lost my You know what I mean?
And yeah, he should have defended his wife a lot more. Like, just saying.
And I love you, like I absolutely adore you. I think you're such an awesome dude. But that is the one place I feel like, Salva kind of got you there, because I would have lost it, like if you were my partner. I'm just gonna be honest.
Tipster would respond by upping his talk game, by which I mean he begged Salvo to stop and offered him $175 for peace.
How you doing, buddy?
How are you doing?
Now, for those who don't know why he was offering Salvo Pancakes for peace, the context here is the Now Recording was having a whole contest with the co-hosts and everything like that. This was around the time when that happened, and so Leia, who was one of the people who was being chosen as one of the co-hosts, they were doing a voting poll and everything like that, and so Leia was actually getting a lot of votes, and then all of a sudden, I can't remember who she was in the same who was in her bracket, but someone else was getting more votes, and so Tipster went on this rah-rah, you know, like, God bless them titties, and she actually put him out, which I mean, like, that surprised me. That was the surprise of the 2022, and so he found out that Salvo was one of the people, was one of the reasons why they were getting more votes. So he goes on to Salvo's and tries to, like, you know, hey, I think we went down the wrong path. So let me do this. Let me donate $150, and maybe we could wipe the slate clean.
Do you have hurt feelings over something that I said?
You know, a little bit, but I think if, you know, we make a solid negotiation here, I think I'm willing to put that aside. Okay, I'm willing to forgive you for what happened before.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to give you a handsome donation.
So when you mean we're going to be all good, what do you mean by that? Define that. How are we going to be all good? What are you going to do for me?
The past is the past. You know, we'll let bygones be bygones, and it's over, dude. This is what I'm offering. I'm willing to negotiate on the monetary side, okay? But, like, I'm offering you to make peace with you, okay? We'll make peace, and I will give you a monetary donation. My initial offer is $100. Now, you can negotiate on the money side. What's the dollar figure? What you looking at?
$500.
I won't do $500. I will do... Let's do 150. 160.
Tipster.
What the fuck? Hold on. I remember this, and like, as this was happening, what's up, Nintendo Mail? As I was remembering this, I just think about that, like the beginning of the Pawn Stars intro, This is like, hey, this, and then like, I just imagine him having Rick's face, like super embedded on Tipster's face. He's like, the best I could do for you is $150. It's like, and you know what? Long time no see. And I give Salvo that credit where credit's due. He actually held the line. And kind of tired. I feel that, Nintendo Mail. When Salvo, like you could actually look at the gears turning. Like he was gonna go turn up the heat to 11.
We ain't getting nowhere because you realize you realize, Tipster, I have dogs barking at their
$175.
Tipster, listen.
You'd think this would be Tipster's lowest point.
Oh god. That's literally like talking in the middle of the expert and saying 175.
Point ever. Losing to Spurgs, picking up on mentally ill people, literally auctioning his pride. None of these were the final blow in any regard. They just added onto the bandwagon of people who disliked him. And it would be the next situation at the start of 2023 that completely destroyed Tipster's reputation in the community. So tune in next week for part 2 of the Tipster Chronicles, from Tippy's exodus from commentary to the state he's in today.
Oh man. That's a good video. Obviously, if you guys haven't had a chance, go check out Testify's stuff. They're doing some really good stuff. I will have a Tipster video out very, very soon. Just waiting on art for it to get done, and I'm excited for it. But let me get the CoffeeZilla video. Okay. Well, it's not really CoffeeZilla. It's let's see here. He hasn't put his new stuff on here yet. Wait, why is it only... I gotta get the video here. Oh, here, you know what? Let me oh. Good, come on. Let's see. There it is. Alright, so we're going to talk about this real quick. So, CoffeeZilla on his Voidzilla channel put out a video. Now, this is something that I actually wasn't even aware of. So, he'll get into the why here of why this video was made here in just a moment. But I will say, if you guys have never seen, like, or understand cryptocurrency talk and everything like that, I always advise to go see CoffeeZilla's YouTube channel and YouTube channels, I should say, too. They're very informal, and they're pretty much one of the best videos I think I will ever trust. In terms of understanding cryptocurrency, like, drama and everything like that. I know him and Mutahar did a video about it. This came out that video came out yesterday. I will probably do a separate video with Mutahar's video, but case in point, the best way I could explain it is, there's an MCM that is pretty well known within most of, like, big YouTube. Most of them are signed with this MCN because of the copyright protections and everything that's in it. Now, there was people apparently reaching out to CoffeeZilla. And hold on one second. Yes, I'm out. I'm out of liquid death. Rip. Well, I will try to do this easier on my voice, but we'll try it. But anyway, this MCN was not paying their people. Now, a lot of people were wondering, like, okay, what is this? Why is this MCN not paying people? And so he poked a nudge and everything, and he got some answers for a while, and then he didn't for a couple of years. So now he recently got some more answers recently. So I'm just going to let him explain it here right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Void. This is the conclusion of a 3-month investigation into Omnia Media, which is an MCN that I and Mutahar investigated earlier this year. You can see back in January 9th, I said if you haven't been paid by Omnia Media or would like to blow the whistle on this company, get in touch with me. You can comment below or email me. Now, this is because I heard reports of creators who were signed up with this MCN not getting paid, and I wanted to make sure that that didn't continue. It was very concerning. Mutahar, like I said, at the same time did that. We kind of tag team this investigation, and we've been waiting, watching, talking to this company, trying to get answers for the last 3 months, trying to get people paid, ultimately. And a lot of them have. Some still haven't. Some are getting threatened now, and others are just sick of this whole experience. I think this is a great cautionary tale for not tying yourself to these useless companies, these blood-sucking leeches on your career, on your livelihood. So, first of all, let's talk about what Omnia Media is, this company we're investigating. It's a multi-channel network, which is, many of you from the old school days know about what these are. They used to be much more popular. It's basically you attach yourself to this network, you send your check to them in exchange for a cut of the revenue you made, and they're supposed to get you better advertising rates. They get you contact with YouTube partners. They get you the ability to copyright claim content that is yours. Not copy.
So, one thing that I can kind of talk about this, because I do kind of understand how the MCN works. So basically, with the Mr. Sir, nice to see you're doing well. You're one of my favorites. Oh. I'm Mrs. Tipster. You were my favorite one of my husband's spots. Oh, it's nice to know that. Nice to know that.
Strike, copyright, claim it, so you get the revenue. There's a few advantages, but over time and in general, multi-channel networks have kind of lost their use. People have realized overwhelmingly that the risk is not worth the reward. The juice is not worth the squeeze. And in a lot of cases also, like YouTube improved at some things that made multi-channel networks less useful. Like, for example, just monetization used to be a huge challenge for creators. Now it's much easier to do. So multi-channel networks, less useful. YouTube directly contacting creators. Used to be way harder to get a direct answer, and still is hard in some cases, but it's less hard than it used to be, less useful.
Yeah, so the MCMs basically, they're basically like the in-between. Like, if you take like a 10-foot rope, right? And you put another 10-foot rope, but there's like another person there, right? Like on one of those ropes. So there's like 2 pieces of 5-foot rope, and then there's like a block in the middle, and then there's YouTube. That version of that rope is basically what the MCNs do. Like, if you see someone that is misusing your footage and everything like that, say like they're just unedited, no commentary, blah 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 blah, you know, that type of stuff, what they'll do is they will make the copy strike on your behalf to that channel, or just reach out to that channel and say, like, hey, you're using their intellectual property, blah blah blah, can you make some edits and everything? Because there's some MCMs that are actually not that vicious as they used to be. Like, I remember when MCMs were I remember one in particular that was associated with Maker, that when Equals 3 was first doing his own content, they were giving him a lot of shit because they were using like old footage of his stuff and everything. Like, granted, he owned the copyright of Equals 3 and everything like that, but like they owned a certain way of how it was filmed and everything like that, so they were kind of reaching out to him and everything like that. There was a lot of Civil War shit with that too. Like they do get very picky on that, but I understand the whys and everything like that. But what they do is they basically give you like the better deals and everything like that, because like, you know, it gets more eyes on sponsorships. Like, hey, you're working with a studio or an MCM at this point that has like contracts within them that can make your content seen more on the algorithm and everything. There is what is other, there's other stuff that I can name that I know of, but most of the bigger YouTubers, I think, like nowadays don't even have an MCM. There's like maybe one or two, but I think it's only just strictly for like the copyright claims and everything like that, so it's just more kind of formal instead of just like people pointing the fingers sitting there go like, oh hey, this person is stealing my copyright right here. Like I think it's because like some people are busy when they reach a certain subscriber mark, and then there's some people who hit that subscriber mark and have other people do it, and then they check with the person, go like, hey, this is what's going on, do you want to do anything about it? It's like, reach out to them, see what happens, that type of shit. So like a lot of things get done with that 5-foot rope that has the block in the middle than it does with the 10-foot rope that has no middleman in between. It takes a lot longer to get a YouTube rep, a lot longer to what is it? To get sponsor reads and everything like that. There you go. Brain was going a little bit here. You know, let's see here. But this MCN in particular has not been paying people since the end of last year. A lot of people are kind of starting to ask questions. I was actually asking questions about it because I watched Mudahar's video on it.
Useful. So, in general, over time, multi-channel networks have sort of fallen by the wayside, but there still are a few, and Omnia Media was a massive one. On their website, they advertise working with the Sidemen, the Misfits, Cold Ones, XQC. You can see all the creators they're working with. You probably recognize a few. Now, some of these people have terminated their relationship with this network as we're talking about it, so this doesn't necessarily apply to everyone, but a lot of creators on that list suffered from lack of payments in November and December of 2023, which is how basically I got started on this whole case. Basically, they told myself and Mudahar that in the past, this company had paid out immediately, and that's why they felt comfortable staying with this MCN, because... Okay,
so I think that's fair. Like, as long as money is flowing in between, they're still okay with the MCN, right? And, I can't remember who. I think it was Aisha Speed. Aisha Speed said mentioned something in like one of his very first like kick streams that he wasn't with the MCN because there was some stuff that he can't legally per se say, but like, if anyone wants to know the reason why, they could reach out to people who are more knowledgeable of it. So I think that's something that a lot of people could look into and everything like that. I don't know how to work the Kick VOD system. It's a pain in the ass for me enough as it is. So it's kind of like, you know, hey, it's all good, and all. So...
At this point, in 2024, MCNs, as I said, are known not only to not be worth it, but also be a risk on your career for exactly this reason. Because if they go under, you potentially are losing months of revenue, which could tank your company. I mean, some of the people on this list obviously have entire teams of people behind them, while some of them are individual creators. Now, if you're wondering why these
Now, I don't know if that's a recent screenshot of their thing, but if Cold Ones is on there, it kind of surprises me a little bit. Simply because, you know, I would think after, I think 5 million, because they've been around for a long time, almost about what, 15 15 years, about 15, 16, right? They've been around for so long. And then all of a sudden, you know, they're this big conglomerate now. Like they have spice rubs and sauces and everything like that going on for them. So I'm curious why Hot Ones, like the whole studio, Hot One Studio in general, is if they're still under the MCN studio of them. So I'm just curious.
Who, as I just told you, don't really need MCNs. Most of them would stay with an MCN. Well, obviously some of them like some of the remaining perks, like being able to copyright claim content, but also some of them got in these 100-0 deals with this company. In fact, most of the people I talked to were in 100-0 deals. What does that mean? Well, in the past, MCNs would charge a split. So, like, I get 70%, they take 30% of my channel's AdSense revenue, right? Eventually, as MCNs became less useful in everybody's eyes, just to try to retain talent, they would lower the deals until they got to 100-0, meaning the creators kept 100% of their revenue, the company got 0%. But because of how the payments work, the multi-channel network would get paid first, and then they would pay you as a contractor. What would happen is that they could still mark the revenues over here on their company, which isn't that useful if you want to be profitable.
So why would they say that though? They still have to make a profit. Like what? So like I get it if they're trying to negotiate a deal with someone, they want them to stay on their brand specifically, and where to the point where if they're negotiating like if they're negotiating a deal where it's like, well, I would like to see if I could get 100% of that, that's automatically a red flag for me as a business. Like, I still need to make a profit somehow, some way. So I would see if it's possible. Like, I would sit there, go 90% and only 90% goes to you, 10% goes to us. But if you make merch with us, we'll sell it. We'll get you the deal in deal at a warehouse that can sell this stuff at a discount, and you just sell the profits of every other $100 worth of product. Like, that's something that I think, if I remember correctly, when Ray William Johnson, when he was talking about his time at Maker, he was talking about how that was kind of the deal that they were wanting to do, but they were not as like nice of a cut. I think he said they were wanting a 60-40 deal where he got 40%, they got 60, and they got most of the profits from like any your favorite Martian merch. This has been a podcast that's been around for like a long time. Like, I think this was like a year or two that came out after it came out, like that he left Maker. I could be wrong on that, and I don't know if what year it was. Like, I think it's a couple years, it's around there, right when podcasts started to get big. But like, just hearing all these like really extreme deals that MCMs would make back in the day just to like retain someone, and now hearing about these 100-0 deals and try to get back taxes off from like I forget what he said. Hold on, we're gonna use the show transcript here. 100Z. The creators kept 100% of their revenue. The company got 0, but because of how payments worked, multi-channel networks would get paid first, then they would pay you as a contractor. What would happen is that they could still mark the revenue over here on their company, which isn't that useful if you want to be profitable, but it's still useful if you're a publicly registered company. Okay, so if they're like a publicly traded studio, so say like, for example, I open up a studio and say like I'm gonna blurt out a random YouTuber's name. Let's say let's say Marcus Brown. Let's say Marcus Brown, for example. If he made a deal with my studio and he wanted 100-0 deal, I could still because I'm the middleman and there's a fee of being the middleman, I would still get paid, but I wouldn't get paid as much as I would if I had, like, say, a 20% cut of the deal. And as you're gonna see here, I'm gonna after he goes into explanation of what's going on, I'm gonna scroll to where I actually stopped watching, because he kind of goes into the understanding of what's missing out of this, and it kind of aligns the lines together, because, like, the math wasn't mathing with me when he was explaining this, and so I was just kind of like, okay, so what does this mean? What does this
But
mean?
it's super useful if you're a publicly registered company, right? Because think about it. If you can tell, shareholders that, hey, I had $100 million of revenue this year, even if you paid out that full $100 million to your creators, because you just have to kind of throw it right back to them, if you can kind of tell shareholders, well, we can get a little more profitable, we'd be making tons of money. Meanwhile, these shareholders might not know how this industry works. In reality, if you charge these creators 1%, 10%, 20%, a lot of them are going to go away, right? Because the only reason they're with you is because it doesn't cost them anything. So this is the context of how Omnia Media kept so many of these top creators when really they weren't really needed in most of the case. Now, also interesting is that, as I said, it's useful for companies that are publicly listed or publicly traded, and Omnia Media is part of another company that is publicly traded called Enthusiast Gaming. Now, they've removed Omnia from their Twitter profile. They used to.
Now, when he pointed that out, because I was familiar with Omnia Gaming, Omnia, that's when I started, like, they might have closed. And here's the thing, like, I've seen a lot of esports teams, especially now, more than ever, just concentrate strictly on gaming. The only two I could actually say that is making a very successful transition into, like they could leave the esports arena and their shirts would just sell like hotcakes. FaZe Clan, I'm trying to remember what was the one that I'm trying to remember the other one, because Liquid, that's another one. I like Liquid's teams. I've always liked Liquid. They've been kind of like the, hey, I like, don't mind me just sneaking in the back door just to ace this whole tournament without you all thinking about it. Like, I like them. And then G2 Esports, that's another one. Though I think recently someone said that the original plan that they had for the what was it? They were gonna start venturing into Twitch streamers that just like do content, but I think they kind of settled back on that a little bit because there's now there's actually been a big boom, I've kind of noticed, of esports teams that are opening up content creator divisions. They're actually paying a lot better than an MCN. Ironic, right? I mean, the only ones that I think wouldn't pay as much better is like ATK, because I've seen that they've been going through a little bit of rough patches with membership and everything like that. But anyway,
Habit, But Enthusiast Gaming is this amalgamation of a bunch of sort of gaming-related companies. You may know them for Luminosity Gaming. They're one of the larger esports teams. And in general, they were sort of well-known, well-liked, well-beloved before this. And so this is another reason that a lot of these creators thought, hey, we're fine, right? They're going to pay us. They're always going to pay us. They got these huge teams, right? They could never kind of go under. Or could they? So this brings us back to this post. I told people to get in touch with us. I personally got about 15 people to talk to me, and they reported that in total, about $2 million was owed. Now, I know that's a small subset of the total creators, but in other words, Omnia Media had to pay out $2 million. Now, the context of this was Enthusiast Gaming, just months before they stopped paying out people, they got delisted from the NASDAQ. So there were investor headwinds going into this. Now the most well-known place to trade Enthusiast Gaming was the Toronto Stock Exchange, and in general, I was worried about if they went bankrupt, people not getting paid. Not only that, at the same time all of this is happening, people aren't getting paid.
Yeah, so if they disappeared out of going into publicly traded as a publicly traded company out of the Toronto Stock Exchange, that would, and they declared bankruptcy, just imagine how many people that would have gotten laid off. Like, I've kind of seen it over the years with other companies that are like smaller than this, and then like because one person gets seriously ill and everything like that, they lose that source of income, and then the whole team suffers, and it goes from that. Like, I've seen multiple small, like from local area to Chicago esports area, which is growing a ridiculous amount. There's actually a couple of kids coming up that are going through the Tekken tournaments and the Street Fighter tournaments this year that are actually really good coming out of Chicago and Detroit. So I'm kind of looking forward to CEO this year, or CES this year. It's going to be cool because CES is one of my favorite tournaments to watch for fighting games. Not so much the shooting games anymore. Because obviously now most brands have their own tournaments. CSGO has their tournaments every year. Rainbow Six Siege. Currently Call of Duty, I was surprised because they thought Call of Duty in the midst of COVID was going to go downhill. But it's good to know that Microsoft is kind of footing the bill a little bit to kind of revive the program and everything, which is good.
This guy Nick Bryan, the CEO of Enthusiast Gaming, remember they own Omnia Media, he resigns as CEO. Now this is always a troubling sign that things may be going wrong. There are two reasons usually a CEO leaves a company in troubling times. Either A, he's getting pushed out by the board and he doesn't want to be seen as fired, so he resigns, or B, he's trying to jump ship before things really go wrong. So it's with that.
Like he's basically getting doing the board is basically making him force quit. Like force resign, I think that's another term for more boardwalk members here. But other than that, like, honestly, I have no, like, this is kind of getting, this is interesting to hear, like, for the third time, because, like, I listened to this part twice, because he's kind of going into some business, you know, just the business talk, and, like, there's some business talk that I don't understand. He kind of dumbs it down like I'm a 5-year-old, you know. I just, like, here, like, I mean, if he had the like a whiteboard, he could probably draw this out a lot better than I could.
That in mind, that I first reach out to Omnia Media. I say, look, I've heard rumors of bankruptcy behind the scenes from sources, and also just looking at your market headwinds, it looks bad, but also your CEO has resigned, and I try to get an answer on where these payments are for creators. Now, Omnia Media reaches out to me and they say, hey, we can confirm Nick's departure was for personal reasons, and it's totally unrelated to changes within our Omnia network. For context, we're currently realigning payment expectations for creators that move away from historical early payment practices and shift back in line with our contractual terms. So they're trying to say, look, the reason we're not paying people is we paid them too early. Those babies got used to, it was too easy. We paid them too early. We paid them when we...
See, okay, and so if we go back to the rope analogies here with the two different ropes, see, when, like, if you go back to that rope with the MCN, you know, the two 5-foot ropes, and that middleman, that block in the middle. So YouTube is bringing in the money, right? And it gets divided to all these different, like, subdivisions within that company, and then it finally gets to you. They could take their sweet ass time by this. Now, from my understanding, most companies have now made it most players in esports now have a instant pay, like, what is it, clause in their contract if they decide they want to get paid immediately with certain esports organizations. I know some are pretty still old school. They'll still go by the MCN thing. Some MCMs will actually do that type of thing in order to save a buck. Like, they'll sneakily put in a clause where they could get their money at not every 2 weeks, but at the end of the month. They can't. They have to, like, take a certain percentage of the taxes or whatever it is. Most companies have to do for that. It's interesting to kind of, like, watch him explain more about how MCMs work, because, like, I had a decent idea how that worked. Like, I knew it was the trickle down system where it's like, here's YouTube, here's it's the rope method. Once again, it's just kind of like, here's YouTube paying you money, here's the MCN, the block, and then here comes the rope that represents your channel, and you're gonna get paid. But will it match everyone else's pay? Probably not. Depending on how good your channel was. Like, it's usually a first come first serve thing, and most of the time the smaller channels will get, like, small chunks of that. I think I was reading some MCN stuff, like horror stories from people who used to do YouTube and everything like that. Like, the most I think someone has ever gotten from an MCN on a 25K video, which would averagely be about $250, $300, depending. Now, keep in mind, this is like older YouTube. I don't know what the new algorithm is like now with the MCMs now. He only saw about 300 of that, and he wasn't gonna get that the rest of that till, like, the beginning of next year, after he's done with his taxes and everything like that. It would come out through his tax returns because something in his clause. MCNs, I kind of said it for years after, like, and I'll say this kind of in hindsight. Tipster was right when he said MCMs are incredibly stupid to be a part of. But at the same time, they have all those protections and everything like that. That's something that I always kind of go back to my mind and remember, like, from, like, hearing from, like, drunk streams and, like, YouTube talk in general, everything like that, from Tipster, like a couple other people that were in MCNs at the time. But
we got paid. We're gonna make sure that we pay them as late as possible. So they said, look, basically, there's no reason to report on this because there's no story here. Everyone's gonna get paid out. We have no trouble paying everybody. It's fine. So it's in this light that I kind of sit back and we wait. February goes by, March goes by, April finally comes around, and I'm like, hey, have people gotten paid for November, December, January? So I reach out to the creators, and most of them say, hey, look, I haven't been paid. They say they're gonna pay me by April 15th. That's sort of the final deadline. Now, it's around this time that I reach back out again to Omnia Media. On April 3rd, I say, hello, I'm looking into Omnia Media late payouts. Initially, I held off reporting on this issue because of requests from Omnia saying you would be shortly paying people. However, I'm hearing once again from creators they haven't been paid for December payouts. We're in April. Please explain why you aren't paying people on time. If rumors of bankruptcy are true, whether creator payouts fall into the category of unsecured debt, which is a risk if you're going to potentially get bankruptcy. Okay, so they respond.
They respond. Basically, they responded and say, just look at all the business listings and everything to it. So let me. Actually, let me go here. Okay, this is.
Yes, I think what they did is unacceptable, unforgivable. But what I'm about to say about their financial health of their company, my opinion, okay? I really can't say much more than that. I mean, look, legally, I have to protect myself because this is a potentially litigious company. This is a company that, from what I can tell, is very concerned about its own share price. And so I would worry about retaliatory lawsuits in the case of they go, oh, you know, you're talking bad about us. This is kind of their whole thing the whole time is they're worried about how they look in the eyes of the public instead of just doing the right thing. So when we were about to report on them...
And also, when they were talking about, like, these people who are remaining anonymous and everything on this stuff, talking about these MCNs and everything, they were getting, like, some of them were even getting threatened by the company themselves, saying that this would be a violation of their MCM. They wouldn't get paid if they said anything. If they came out on Twitter and said, like, you know, hey, Omni, where the F's my money, you know, and all that. I think that's them shooting their own foot. If they're outright threatening, like, and there's some legalese that I've kind of heard over the years when CoffeeZilla has done all these different videos about terms of service agreement that are in the contract and everything, that most of these people have, like, I think they're called, like, goodwill clause, where it's basically a built-in NDA where at any time, as long as you're still working for that MCN and everything, under that contract agreement, until the day that contract expires, you can't say anything about the company or anything in a disparaging and a derogatory way. Now, I'm going to say this right now, first and foremost. I only speak my opinions, just like he is speaking his own opinions and everything like that in this video. I would just want to blatantly point that out, because I, for one, don't want to get sued by any of these big companies, because I actually like some of these big companies, gaming companies, esports companies, but I just want to make it abundantly clear. Some of the things that are being shown in this video are, like, public record and everything, because I know there's some things that he has censored out in this, I think. As far as I can see in the video, and I will say this: some of the stuff that he kind of breaks down and gives you kind of information about how it works and everything, it's fascinating, because you kind of could start connecting the dots once he explains, like, this is what this part means and how it connects to the body. Like, this is the wing of the company, this is the thigh of the company. Yes, in the whole scheme of things, I'm making a chicken reference here, because this is how I kind of see how a company works, you know. And shout out to Scrubs for making that reference a thing that I always think of in my head.
Every time we were about to report, somebody would get paid, right? The moment before, but they drag it out. The same thing with people who spoke out against Omnia Media. He says, hey, saw your post. I have an update from the finance team on the status of your payment, relaying the same message below that our legal team has asked me to relay to other creators. This is a reminder to the confidentiality obligations under your MCN agreement, and that making any public statements pertaining to your relationship with Omnia without Omnia's consent would result in a breach of your obligations thereunder, particularly where those statements are designed and intended to cause harm. As you are aware, Enthusiast Gaming is a publicly traded company, and we would advise against any statements that could have unintended harm or otherwise result in damages to our company. We would recommend removing the posts, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they're trying to basically intimidate the guy who they haven't paid. They're holding the guy's money. They're basically going, hey, you breached.
They're basically like the bully that's holding up the money, and like, you know, they're sitting there going like, hey dude, we got everything that you have right here. I want to make sure that you know this, that if you keep saying all these bad things about us, we're gonna sue you and take all this money that you have saved up. Like, that's, for some YouTubers, that's terrifying. Like, to some big YouTube, like, YouTubers, like, hot ones, that's probably, like, a quick litigation thing that they're gonna have to go through the legal system and everything like that. You know, it's practically, since to one part of a smaller studio is, I could lose millions and millions of dollars, lose my income, lose my house, everything that I have a mortgage on and everything like that, all because I want to put my thoughts out there that this company ain't paying me and I don't appreciate it, so I'm calling them out and putting them in accountability. Now, I've seen some countries over the years have things that force these companies now to have to go into, like, a legal litigation before they not illegal litigation, what it's called, arbitration, to basically tell people like, hey, look, in your contract you have a clause that says, okay, you can leave at any time. You have a 90-day non-compete clause, or a 30 to 90-day non-compete clause, and you can't make any profit that comes through the MCN. We're slashing that in half from your regular, like, 5%, and we're gonna slash that down to about 2.5. So that, or like 3.5, I think that's the number I'm looking for here. But that's dangerous. That's still dangerous enough as it is, because, like, once again, I'm kind of going at this as a smaller studio with, like, a couple of people working versus, like, a big studio that has, like, a dozen people working. That's the whole big shift in everything that's going into this, and the fact that this MCN isn't even paying, like, the smaller studios and everything. Like, everyone should be paid equally. Like, bottom line, if you're an MCN. Like, that's how I see kind of the way I understand MCN. That's how I'm wanting to understand MCN.
Terms. If you say anything about it, this is some kind of weird, what is this? Look like weird blackmail campaign. Hey, maybe you get paid, maybe you don't. Hey, you need to be paid. If you make us look bad, you're breaching the clause, right? We would recommend you remove those posts. So, like I said, it's in light of that I make all these caveats.
And by the way, any company that basically has to use that as a last-ditch effort for people to not bring anything to light, that's them denying accountability and everything like that, and that makes it more at least the way I understand it, that makes them more guilty in the eyes of a jury if it goes to a jury court in small claims court. Like, that could be a big deal. Like, that could be a big deal. Because in some states, I think there is some juries that small claims court can have some can be jurors, and there's some that won't have jurors because of, like, jurisdiction codes and blah blah blah, all that stuff. I think this is way interesting.
Because, again, I think this company is more concerned about their public perception than anything else. So even though these are their audited financials, these are literally their numbers, I want to be clear about that going into it. So what are their numbers? With all the caveats out of the way, let's take a look at their balance sheet, right? Again, this is for last year. This is their financials that they reported. I cannot say that enough. So the big headlines I want to give you. So this is December 31st, 2022. This is December 31st, 2023. If you've never looked at one of these balance sheets before, one good way to judge a company's financial health is to see what happens to their assets and liabilities, how they change year to year. Because we're trying to get a sense, okay, if they went from paying people all the time on time, everyone loved them to not paying people on time, obviously something's changed. They probably don't have some, malicious ringleader like, I'm just gonna screw these guys because I can. There's a reason.
I like how he's just bringing it back. Like, yeah, we're gonna get them in the back door. You see? Yeah. Like an old school Raskillian villain. Oh.
Take a look at that. So in December 2022, they had $7.4 million in cash on hand, and in 2023, they had $6.8 million. So they lose cash. December 2022, they have $37 million in trade or other receivables. In 2023, $31 million. So again, their assets from year to year are less. In total, their total current assets as of 2022 were $47 million. Now it's $40 million. Going in the wrong direction, people. Now, this part we'll ignore for now. We'll come back to it. The non-current assets, that's stuff they don't have on hand now, okay? That's stuff that does not matter to now if they can pay you or not. What really matters is current assets, right? And what matters the most is cash. Like, can you pay me? Yes or no? Liabilities. Let's go to these are their debts, right? So accounts payable, accrued liabilities, these are things they have to pay out. Last year, $32 million, okay? This year, $47 million. Big.
That's... Whew. How do you go through that much money? Like, how much... Like... This kind of reminds me of when I actually looked into the ProJared stuff, and it flabbergasted me a little bit, just kind of looking at the numbers that Mutahar showed and everything, and I compared my own notes to it, and asked like someone that who does the taxes every year and everything like that, and they're not a big expert in business taxes and everything like that, and they were like, look, I only know how like a person to person, like when you put your W-2s in, like how that works out, but I'm already looking at this, and there's some money that there is some math that is not mathin'. Shout out to Peepaw right there. Love Peepaw Riveter. I miss him. All right. But just looking at all the stuff that's like 180,621 to 124, they're losing equity in their whole business. Now, it could be the state of, it could be the big reason could be the state of video games and everything like that, the gaming culture and everything. That could be one of the things, but
big increase in debt. So if you're tracking, decrease in assets year to year, increase in liabilities year over year by a lot. That is what, $15 million in increased accounts payable. Now you can see their total current liabilities again has increased quite a bit year to year. This has resulted in total current liabilities. You can see here that they have some long-term debt. Here you go, current portion of long-term debt, $21 million there. So their total current liabilities, sorry, that's what I was trying to look for, is $76 million that they owe out, right? Whether it's within the year or whether it's next year, long-term or future years, long-term debt. Total $76 million. Now again, let's compare that to their assets. $40 million, liabilities, $76 million. This is a massive problem. Not a registered accountant or anything, but that doesn't sound like a financially healthy company to me. Now, let's take a look at, of course, these non-current assets, because if you actually look at their total assets, it looks like, gosh, it's a huge company, right? They say that last year they were worth $341 million. Now they're worth $236 million. It looks like, wow, that's a lot of money. They must have a lot of money to pay. But if you dig into the numbers, look at this. Where's the majority of that value coming from? $85 million of that this year is coming from what they're calling intangible assets. And we're going to dig into that. $105 million. Goodwill, okay? Goodwill. Why is that a problem? It's because when you're talking about how people are going to get paid, people are going to pay their bills, and you have more liabilities than assets, goodwill ain't going to get you anywhere, right?
That's a big one right there. Goodwill isn't going to get you anywhere. Like, like looking at other videos that are kind of similar to this in terms of like the financial situation of that. Like, this is gonna be a big yikes for me, bro. Like how do you have all these assets and everything with that are more valuable, and then just lose that value within a year? Like, is someone like taking money from the back pocket? Like, is someone doing that? I'm curious.
In fact, if you see here, they have a note for goodwill and intangible assets. We're going to take a look at that. Note 9 and 10. So go find that. Here's where we see their intangibles, what they're valuing their intangibles at. And I want you guys to pay attention to one thing right here, okay? Because I know it looks like this big mess. I know you just want to close your eyes and go, don't show me the numbers. I don't want to know about the numbers. It's too complicated. It's not. Okay, if you dig into it a little bit, there's just a few numbers that actually drive a lot of the value. One of the big ones is domain names. So they're saying that their intangible assets of the domains they own is worth $42 million. They say their brand names in 2023 are worth $34 million. Their technology development website content, $18 million. Multi-channel network license, $7 million. Talents, contracts, and digital content, $5 million. In total, $123 million they're counting in intangible assets. Now, they mark it down over here to $85 million, but either way, it's a substantial value they're assigning to all these intangible things. And then we also look similarly at goodwill. So in 2023, they're saying that across their properties, TSR is worth $20 million. Steel Media is worth $4 million. Outplayed is worth $19 million. Enthusiast Properties are worth $61 million. In total, $105 million they think they have in goodwill. Why am I telling you guys about this? It's because of the fact that when you actually think about their balance sheet, the vast majority of the value is intangible goodwill, all of which has been torpedoed by the events we've been talking about for the past 20 or 30 minutes. Remember, this is primarily a gaming company, a creator company. They're in the creator esports space. So what does it do to your brand, your reputation?
Look, I'm not the biggest Leon Lush fan, but the fact that you have Leon Lush sitting there going same thing happened to me. It's been a stressful 6 months. Whatever Suits run that godforsaken piece of crap snake oil company can rot in hell. And anyone considering being involved in anything that anything they could touch should probably reconsider.
When you have the creators you've been working with say that whatever Suits run that forsaken piece of snake company can rot in. I mean, bro, I'm trying. Look, Leon, you may have lost your monetization. I'm not trying to lose mine. I'm sorry, bro. But what happens? That joke was a little too soon. I apologize for that. Okay, that's inappropriate even for the Void. What happens to your brand value when people say stuff like that about your company? That's the issue. Meanwhile, their actual assets are much less than their liabilities. Their current assets are less than their current liabilities, and that's not me saying. Anyone can see this right here on their statement. Total current assets, $40 million again, going over these numbers. Total current liabilities, $76 million. So where does this put this company? While I am happy that a lot of creators, it looks like, have been paid, some have not, and most of them have been put through the absolute ringer. I know
I think what they're doing is they're paying all these bigger creators, and anyone that who doesn't come up to snuff to at least a 50,000 subscriber YouTuber, they're just we're not gonna pay you, and that's sad. That's really sad if you ask me. If you because honestly, and this is the real deal I'm talking about here. This is kind of goes the same way in the analogy of live streamers. Your smaller YouTubers make up what is going to be the future capita of YouTube when, say, when CoffeeZilla retires, or when PewDiePie retires, when Markiplier retires. They're going to fill in that void that they're going to leave. Granted, it's going to be really hard to fill in their specific void, but they're going to fill in that void as much as possible. You're making it much harder for smaller YouTubers to succeed. Just like how in Twitch's eyes, certain requirements, and in Kick, in Rumble, and certain other places, if you don't give the smaller people a fair shot, they're not gonna grow anywhere in this business. And if an MCM, especially, we're going back to that 2 5-foot 5-foot ropes and the brick in the middle representing the MCN, if we're not seeing any type of connectivity between or synergy between YouTube, the MCN, and us, then that is happily going to help you out and fight for you till the end of days. If you ever get copyright struck by anyone, knock on wood, but the best way I could conclude with this, and I think this is how I'm going to wrap up the stream here, is I could see this. I hope whatever is happening currently at the MCN is only temporary. I hope it is. I hope that people do get their money back. I do hope that if they do have to go into bankruptcy, that they actually come out with a better mindset for the company, because like it would be ashamed if like the esports part the players don't get paid and they're out of a job because they had to go into bankruptcy and everything like that. Like, I think they should take care of those guys and then make sure that, you know, there's a way that they could take care of the company, the esports side of the company, without having to fully call full bankruptcy on the whole company and everything like that. But that's just my opinion. But I want to thank everyone so much for watching, and those who are watching post stream, thank you guys so much for watching. I am the Alfres, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. Peace, love, chicken grease, everything is holy, and Tim Tebow. See you guys.
I'm happy for you. Very happy. No more drinking, right? No more smoking. I'm kind of very happy for you. Peace and love. Good night.
Bo Blacks, you're like my autistic brother. Where are you at, dude? So fuck you!